best part of that trailer is just like Marv's head, bro. I'm so serious. It leaves him super like he's like mysterious, like M. He's like the M of our show.
Sama.
We're good though.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So, welcome everybody. This is That One Piece Talk. We are in episode 40. Wait, I just said the whole thing wrong, right?
Yeah, you did.
All
That's
right. This is That One Piece Talk, where we talk One Piece. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel. Seb.
Parvision.
Parvision in the building! Let's go! So, before we get into our celebrity guest here, and before we get into the break week of One Piece itself, which everybody has been going crazy over, and nobody knows how to contain themselves because of the fact Chapter 1043 was just so crazy of a bombshell, basically, that was dropped on us for informational reasons and also joy boying and awakening, and we're going to get into all that stuff. But today is going to be a 2-hour special. I've been waiting for a 2-hour special like this. I'm glad we could do it with Parvision. So, today on our show, I'm going to just introduce you, bro. Today on our show, we have one of the most intellectually inclined, self-made, hardworking, analytical analyzers who finds strings that connect like a complex spider web that only he knows how to climb. He has over 11,000 subscribers on YouTube. 9,000+ subscribers on TikTok and 176 followers on Twitch. Please follow them all. He's also known for his incredible deep dive video on Usopp, which is titled on YouTube, Usopp the Hidden Giant. It currently sits at 204,000 views. What the? I'd like to personally welcome the man himself, Parvision. How are you?
Yo, I'm good. Honestly, that intro, like, what? I wouldn't have introed myself any, like, I was at 3 words. I'm so honored, you know, like, that's what's nice about being here. You guys are so wholesome, like, and the setup, everything, you know. I really appreciate, like, you guys setting this up and then reaching out. Yeah,
no, believe it, man. It's our pleasure. I'm glad you're here. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this show lives up to your standards today. We do get kind of wild sometimes. Sebastian has some really bad takes.
Never.
And, you know what I'm saying?
I've seen him. I see him.
A lot of people like to agree with him in the chat, but they know he be wrong.
I be right.
So, that's all I'm saying.
Do you guys have a counter on who's right? Because I think Larry has, like, some, like, the Zunisha call out, right? That was a solid one.
Yeah. Listen,
even
I've been right most of Wano.
No,
that's all
it's
I'm
not
saying.
true. Not true.
Right,
Larry said.
Oh, you gonna put it back down?
Larry said King and Queen weren't fighting Sanji and Zoro. Put it that way.
No, I didn't say that. Run the tape back. Run the tape back.
We'll find it, bro. We'll find it.
Okay. So, also, to announce something, our latest YouTube episode, because usually our clips go viral, because clips always do better than actual hour long, because nobody wants to sit through the whole thing. Our latest episode, last episode, finally hit 1,000 views. Hey. That's kind of crazy based on the fact that, like, to be honest, like, the episodes themselves have just been growing each episode, and it just seems to hit that 1,000 mark was a huge milestone for me, but also for everybody involved. Because I know there's so many supporters out there for our show that actually love us for us. So I always want to just say, arigato. Like I appreciate you. Thank you for, you know, loving us. And hopefully we could keep providing that same experience that you guys, you know, start to retain. If you guys ever want to support us, please do. In the description of this video, there's going to be a Me6 link. You could subscribe to us or join our YouTube members. Like, somebody just donated super chat from Trick.
Oh, man,
Thank you.
it. Please read it.
Hold on. Before we read it. You can do that too. So you could either become... It's like when I start mentioning it, everybody just starts doing this.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for all the things that you guys happen to do for us. Believe me, the donations that you guys have been giving is going into these hour-long episodes to make them even longer, but also the trailer that you guys just saw. So all the proceedings go to us, towards the show.
I
Anyway.
just want to add.
No,
like,
go.
You guys are seeing like the final product. I'm seeing everything. It's worth it. This is nice. These headsets, nice. Marv, nice.
Yeah, man. It's about quality. I don't think there's every time I see something from somebody else that does something, I'm like, damn, I wish that they did this better.
Right.
And it's usually more about just quality and lighting and even audio. Like you have great audio, like when we have like the little One Piece TikTok reveries because of like your setup.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, we need to have something like that. So this was like the perfect thing to do. Even though it costs bread, I'm like, the bread is kind of like worth it to our audience.
Yeah.
So it makes it better. Anyway, you said you had. Let's find out who's in the chat real quick before we get the show started.
I got you. Shout out to Onion, Shane Dadachi, Jaheim, Simeon Russell, Hazy Sake, Javian, Ast Elm, Triz, Dominic Garland, Gambit, Monkey D. Huga, Tariq, Bart Hat,
Oh, Barhat, what's up, bro? You finally made it.
Wayne Gallagher, and so many more. Thank you guys so much. We did get a super chat from Triz. He said Larry's take record is 1 and 150.
Yo, Trey, if there was a way to ban you off YouTube, I would. No, I'm joking. Nah, thank you for that amazing record. I know you meant to switch it up. For sure. We got another super chat?
We did. It's from... Ooh. It's from Oz. It says, "We here, fam."
Thank
we
you,
see
Oz.
you, Oz.
Appreciate it, bro.
you.
Thank
I
you.
saw your comment on my video, by the way.
What did he say?
I forget, but it was a good comment.
Yeah? Yo,
yeah.
Oz is probably one of the nicest dudes you can have as a
yeah.
fan. Seriously. There's a couple guys in here who are like, oh, they've been sticking with us since like, I think we had like 100 TikTok followers. And like, they're still here repping.
There's
Yeah, I
like
have
a
a few of
civil
them.
war. In
For
here.
me, I have like 5 pandas. Like all their names are panda. And I'm just like,
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I've noticed them ever since the beginning of TikTok, and then they came onto YouTube, still panda. Discord panda. I was just like, and then now on Twitch, they're still panda. I was like, all right.
How's the Twitch going? Everybody, he has a Twitch, so you guys should follow him too.
Honestly, the timing of it was crazy because I was just doing it because I wanted to, spread out from YouTube, just in case like my channel ever gets taken down or something like that. I have somewhere else, right?
Because you're of the whole, what's that guy's name that had something happen
I
to him?
forget the name, but like
Totally not Mark.
Yeah.
Like Toei came
Yeah.
after him for like clips of One Piece.
Yeah. So and that's kind of the thing with the industry. It's like you just have to kind of prepare for that. So you spread out a little bit. You have because if I have the followers on TikTok, then people won't forget me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then on Twitch, it's mainly so that I can like be more casual too. Like and so people are in the chat all the time talking, like reacting, whatever. And I set it up. And I had no idea that 1043 would be this wild. And so,
Nobody did.
So I
Nobody.
put my Kaido video. It was like 22 minutes. Like I was waiting for this because it's part of this larger series. I put it out, and I'm planning on streaming after my videos, like a big video, so that I can like receive people and talk to them about it and that kind of stuff. And then 1043 comes out like Thursday at 9:30, and that's when I was planning on streaming. So I'm like, all right, I guess nobody's gonna care about this Kaido video. No one's gonna care at all.
Par, I saw that Kaido video.
The Kaido video was dope.
It was dope. And I
Alright,
have some
alright.
comments on it. I'll save them for the later in the stream.
Because
Alright.
I was talking to him about it. I was like, yo, he compared Kaido to the U.S. and Big Mom to like Walmart.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, you gotta like see it. And then he saw it.
Yo, I
and now I
appreciate
see it.
Yo, you gotta wait till what's next. It's
Dude,
crazy.
I'm just waiting on the Shanks video.
Yo,
It's gonna be like all the prosthetics in the world.
dude, it's crazy.
Relates to like China.
I could leak some stuff here. I could leak.
Hey.
it.
Listen. Save it for your channel so people can see it.
Nah, I gotta give some exclusive.
Exclusive reveal.
That's
Tell
the
him.
that's the thing with my stream. That's what ends up happening. I just like. I'm like, I have all these timelines, I have all these scripts, and then I just like, it takes a while to get them out. And then people are asking like, what about this? And I'm just like, ooh, you don't want to know all the scripts I have ready for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Wow. All right. So let's get into questions.
All right.
So I know I have 4 questions. You can take as much time as you want on these guys because we have time. if you have questions, Par, more than welcome to bring it up whenever you feel like it. And then if you want to bring up questions to Par, do so. That's how we'll just go with it. We'll just flow. So I'll start off first. First question, guys. All right. There's a theory going around that the reason the world government wanted to kill Ace was to find out if he was Joy Boy or not. The reason for this thought process is because Luffy's voice disappeared during the last fight against Kaido, assuming he died. Luffy then supposedly came back to life, causing Zunisha to state that Joy Boy has returned. What are your thoughts on this, and is it plausible? And we'll start with Par first.
So the starting thing, the Marines wanted to kill Ace because they wanted to test out if he was Joy Boy.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that, I think going to, for the people that watched Sebastian's video on the...
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
He said you saw it?
The criteria, right? Like at this point...
He worked so hard.
I did.
I liked it. Yeah, it was good.
Thank
You
you.
need more of that.
Told you.
Like we don't know if it's a title, the criteria that makes sense. That's one of the things that I was saying that, like, for the people that say it's a title... You need criteria. What did Luffy, do to gain this title? Then now he's Joy Boy, right? So I really like that video because, that put it into context. Is like a lot of people were saying it, but it didn't mean anything. So then it's like you would compare it to Ace, right? Like,
Right.
Did he meet those criterias? And, he had the Conquers. He had, he's the D. He smiled in death. I think, like, I forget the other parts, but I think one thing that I would add is, like, the aspiration, the dream, right? I don't think Ace had the aspiration that Luffy had, so that might be the missing thing. And so, because Ace didn't want to become the king of the pirates, he wanted Whitebeard to be king of the pirates, right? And so even in his death, when Sengoku told him, like, oh, Whitebeard was putting you on the pedestal to do that, I'm pretty sure he was like, wait, what? Like, that's not what we were doing here. So I feel like if it were a title, that would probably be the main reason why Ace wouldn't become Joy Boy, because of that dream. I think that dream part is really important. But that being said, it's like, there's a lot of other ways, because right now I'm leaning onto the side that Joy Boy is tied to the devil fruit rather than something external, rather than it being a title. I think that Joy Boy might be some kind of entity within devil fruits. And an asterisk there, because it might not be necessarily just the Gomu Gomu no Mi. It might be in multiple devil fruits. Mm-hmm. It's just Luffy, again, with criteria, met with all the things that allowed him to become Joy Boy. So that being said, it's really interesting. I mean, we'll never know, but I think Sebastian said it in the video too. It's like we just gotta wait and see a little bit more, right? 1044 is like I don't know if you guys saw this, the TCB scans. I
did. I was gonna bring it up. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right, yeah. So I'm just like anxious. I'm just like, what is going on with this? What are we gonna find out?
Yeah.
So I guess to fully answer the thing, I don't think it'd be possible for Ace to be Joy Boy. I think the dream part, the willpower, right? That, like, willpower is the most important thing, and honestly, Luffy's is top tier amongst everyone, right? So Ace, I don't think had that because he was hiding behind the shadows of Whitebeard the whole time. So
okay, what about you, Lai? We'll go with you next.
Should I move this closer? Or?
Yeah, move it closer, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, we're going thinking that Ace could be Joy Boy. I was thinking when you asked that question, I was thinking going off what they know, like, because the only person who linked Joy Boy to anyone was Roger looking at to his son. Like, when Roger said pretty much, my son could do it, or my son would do it. And knowing like what Roger knows, we don't know how much the world government knows of what Roger knows or what he found out. But I think the biggest fear was Ace gaining the will of his own father. Because since he's the blood of Roger, and Roger found out the ancient history, but he was just too early, I guess the world government got scared that Ace might follow in his father's footsteps. And that probably made him like, we gotta kill this person now. Like, before it becomes a time where he starts pretty much linking to what his father's doing and carrying out his father's will and Joy Boy's will. So I don't know if I don't think Ace would have fit the criteria, but I think the world government was just scared of, since him being the blood of Roger, since Roger himself wanted Ace to be Joy Boy, and the timing of it, Ace was sitting too close to the actual prophecy, and I'm pretty much thinking of what Ace could find out because of what Roger found out. And
Yeah.
like again, but I don't know if they know that Roger told Whitebeard because they could that could have been a big point to them. Like they knew Whitebeard and Roger were cool, and Roger told Whitebeard everything. They could have just told Ace everything right then and there, and Ace could have said, "No, I am going to be the next job," or something. So like they were probably just scared of Ace being that, and that's probably one of the reasons why they wanted Ace to be killed. That's my thought on it.
Okay. What about you, Seb?
So in my opinion, I think they were just trying to get rid of Ace just in case he was Joy Boy. Like, just in case he could be Joy Boy one day. Like, even if he wasn't in the moment, I don't think they were trying to see if he was. It was sparking it in the, like kill him off before we even have a chance to find out if he is. You know what I mean? So I know that part of my theory was death is part of it. But, like, if they know, like, they don't think he's ever engaged with a Celestial Dragon or an ancient weapon or anything. It's just, he's a member of the D-Clan. He's Roger's son. He's the most likely person that could do it one day. So, like, just kill him now so we don't have to worry about what he'll do in the future. Because, like, if he escapes here, now it's just, it becomes a bigger problem. Like, look at what Luffy's doing right now. You know what I mean? Imagine if Ace escaped and found out the truth about his father and stuff, and he had this new remotivation to actually be king of the pirates or something. Like, they didn't want to deal with any of that. So I think they know the prophecy, and they were like, let's get rid of Ace before he has a chance to even accomplish half of the things.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, I don't think they were trying to kill him to see if he would become one. I think they were just trying to kill him to make sure he never had the chance to. But that's just how the world government kind of operates in general. So.
Okay. What about you, Law? What do you think about this question?
It's interesting because I always, I'm on the lines of with the government. They're always trying to snuff out potential threats, especially in the beginning, right? O'Hara, you're finding out this knowledge, dead. Robin, little kid, you know this, dead. I'm gonna try and kill you. So always you're trying to kill things because we notice that once you reach a certain level, they're kind of more cautious around you, the Yonko. They're not just attacking Yonko. They're not just attaching big name pirates or strong pirates or famed pirates. But they will attack you if you're young, right? Like, they tried hard taking out Luffy and Ace during Marineford because the potential that they both rose up, especially who their lineage was or their fathers, and they're both conquerors users. So with that, with Ace, I wouldn't exactly, because also the world government hasn't really spoken much of Joy Boy, and that could be two things. And I doubt that it's more of they didn't know, because they're the world government, and most likely they would know, but because when we found out from what Joy Boy, more learning about Joy Boy was on Fishman Island when Robin read it. That's the first time we heard of it, right? I'm not saying the government doesn't know that information, but if they did have that information, they're probably hiding that name, right? Because they weren't revealing it, because usually they kind of keep secrets because they don't want to same thing with Roger or Whitebeard. They don't want to influence more pirates or ones like Joy Boy or ones like Gold Roger to take the scene. They kind of want to suppress all that. So I could see why they wouldn't mention Joy Boy, because that would knowledge creates ideas and imagination. But if you suppress that knowledge, they can't use it against them. So if they didn't know about Joy Boy, I would say it's more like they would want to kill Ace and Luffy, two anyway potential Joy Boys. And that's why they focused on it. Like, these two cannot leave here alive. As young as they are, even though we have Whitebeard here, they're not focused on killing Whitebeard. They're focusing on killing Ace and Luffy because, like, all right, Whitebeard's tough to deal with. But he already is a big name. But these two, and according to Kaido, Whitebeard, yes, he had his own age, but he still wasn't Joy Boy, right? So it's like these two potentials prove more of a threat, in a sort of speak, because of what they could potentially become. So I'm thinking more of that way. The world government would kill off Ace, not to see if he was Joy Boy, but to make sure that he doesn't become Joy Boy at all. The same way with Luffy.
That's good too. I like that breakdown. For me, realistically speaking, I never really got why Ace was chosen to die, because they could have just kept him in the level 6 prison as long as they possibly could. It never really made sense to me why the world government would directly antagonize Whitebeard by telling him, you we're gonna kill your son, you should come and get him, because that's essentially what it was. And I never got that part of the story because it just felt like out of place for the world government, right? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, you're
I just
sparking
want to
war.
add to that too. Like, you would think that after Roger's execution, right? Because they wanted to make a a martyr out of him, right? But he ended up spinning it by doing the whole One Piece thing, and that sparked the whole era, right? So you'd think they'd be like traumatized, like they learned, like, hey, yo, like last time we did this went poorly. Like, why would we give them enough? Because they broadcasted it. They could have just killed him, right? Like,
That's my same thought process.
so it's like, I think what you're saying, it's like those. Why would Oda make this situation happen, right? Is there a certain reason that we don't know why Ace had to be killed this way?
Exactly. Like, that's what my mind leads to. So when I thought, and I saw this question, because I forgot where I got it, but I saw it and I was just like, yo, this is what I've been saying the whole time. But if it happens to be where Sebastian says there are candidates to be Joy Boy, and sometimes these candidates cross each other, and they take one another out. And sometimes one just gets taken out. That it ultimately leads one to be Joy Boy, and then somehow he does become him. Due to plot reasons, of course. Yeah. I am kind of skeptical of the whole passing of will through Devil Fruit. I think it does exist just due to the evidence that Sabo presented during Dressrosa, where he said that Ace wanted you to be attacked this way, like he owed you this fire fist in a way. He just said it like Ace told him to do so. So I do think that whoever the previous user becomes that Devil Fruit, and then it goes to the next one, and then you feel or become sort of like that previous user. So I think that does exist, but in the sense of the government killing Ace because they want to see if he's potentially Joy Boy, that also raises a red flag to me, because it's like, okay, so now you're inviting somebody that could come back and potentially snuff you out, even though you tried to snuff him out. So it's like, what is your real intention there? Like, what really was the intention behind it? Because I know that M is trying to snuff out these lights. Was Ace truly a light? Like, was he? Like, even I know he's as the flame fruit, but I'm saying, like, was he really a light or wasn't he? Because I do agree with the whole dream. He didn't have that. He didn't have what Luffy has.
Oh, don't
you know
get
what I'm
Lauren
saying?
started.
He doesn't have what Blackbeard has. He's my favorite character, but he didn't have what Blackbeard has. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want to take his ambitions further than himself.
I think it's also important to note that the world government didn't do anything in facilitating Ace's death. Blackbeard set that up, right? So this is like it would be one thing if they instigated everything and then they planned to do the execution. No, Blackbeard came out of nowhere and yo, I'm gonna bring you Ace. Here he is. And like you said, they could have just kept him down and Impel down, right?
So I have pushback on that, actually. If you keep him at Impel down, then Whitebeard's going to Impel down. You know what I mean? Like,
does it?
Yes, it's Whitebeard. The whole thing is you can't touch one of my sons. He's not gonna be like, oh well, you're not executing him, so I'm just gonna let it rock.
Then why would Whitebeard go to Impel down then, like Luffy?
Because
exactly. Thank you.
They said where he was going to. They were gonna execute him. They had a time and place. Like. They set that up.
Yeah, but why would you want to go to fight the war instead of just going to Impel Down?
Yeah, even Luffy was just like, yo, let's go to Impel Down first, right?
Well, one, you have to get through
Boa, take me there. Don't take me to the war, right?
You have to get through the
You know what it was? You know what it was? It was probably Marco. And he was like, yo, Whitebeard, don't do that. I'm not strong enough to fight Magellan.
You have to go through the current, right? So Whitebeard would have to, one, get through the New World.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I not control a Quake Fruit that I could possibly just
I'm saying it's still more difficult than you guys are making out to be. It's easier to just fight them at Marineford, where they actually brought him. And the Marines were like, yo, we can't have Whitebeard fight at Impel Down, because if he does get here and wreck stuff, now there's level 6, 5, 4, you know what I mean, prisoners potentially escaping. You can't do that. What do you mean cool?
Escape.
What do you mean
I'm
cool?
a pirate. I don't care.
I'm saying, okay, you're talking about why Whitebeard didn't do it. Yeah. Well, he has to rally his forces from across the New World, and you're saying that
he rallied them.
Thank you.
And Ace was only at Impel Down for a short period of time.
So here's an important note, right? And I put this in one of my videos, I think, was like before the war, I think while they were at Impel Down and going to Marineford, they were saying that there were reports that Whitebeard was heading over and Kaido was intercepting, right? Yeah. The thing was, how did Whitebeard get there? He got there underwater. Right?
Exactly.
I thought it was good.
Coded his ship.
So that means Kaido is also underwater too. If he's really trying to intercept Whitebeard, then they're all under. Shanks is underwater. Everyone's underwater. We don't know about the underwater world like that. But like,
it's funny.
They don't
even
go through the currents. Yeah. So it's like they could have just showed up at Impel Down, just like underneath.
There's a lot of factors into why. Another part is Whitebeard's Whitebeard. He's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take the most convenient route to save Ace. I'm Whitebeard. I am
So now we're
the world's
so now you're
strongest man.
calling him a bad pirate.
I'm telling you, how do I say this? If he goes the roundabout way to do something like that, that goes against everything that Whitebeard
Bro, he
is.
could have took like 3 commanders and just
No, he couldn't, bro.
accomplished
Listen.
it, bro.
Oh, man.
But remember,
who was there at Impel Down
Also,
who could
we
take
wouldn't have
3
the
commanders of
greatest arc
Whitebeard
ever.
and then Whitebeard?
So,
but also
y'all bad for the
remember,
Warriors.
remember how you get into Impel Down. You needed,
Bro, I'm going to quake to level 6
but
completely.
But isn't Impel
Magellan
Down?
wants
Y'all
that
asking
sauce.
Whitebeard to duck smoke.
No,
He's not doing that.
No, but like, isn't Impel Down made out of sea stone?
I don't care.
But like, I'm just thinking, sea stone
outside.
nullifies
And plus,
abilities.
you're in the water. That would be kind of foolish. Him doing
Take
a
my
quake
whole
while
crew.
underwater.
I mean, to be fair, Magellan, however you say his name,
was
right?
able to-
He's
Magellan,
able to do
no problem.
everything, right?
Yeah.
So no, that's inside. I'm talking about outside. To get
Whitebeard
inside.
could walk inside, and nobody is going to do anything.
One thing is right. Like I'm talking about, Blackbeard needed because I'm thinking about how they got in. They had the Shichibukai title, where like the door was open to them. It's not gonna be open to Whitebeard, and if he tries to quake it, it's gonna be at a sea stone, which would nullify.
Okay,
his
but we're
ability.
gonna take.
Whitebeard showed up at Marineford. He didn't give what did
No,
Impel
but
Down
there's
have
no
to stop him?
sea stone preventing him from
All right,
doing
so
what he
all
wanted
right,
to do.
so
there.
what I'm trying to say.
what's stronger?
again-
3 admirals or sea stone?
Yeah, y'all missing the
you're
plot.
forgetting.
The point is, Whitebeard is the man. He's
Y'all
not going to
talking
go
like-
out of
hold
his
on, hold on,
way
hold on.
to duck a fight with the admirals.
All right, so
That's what you're
it's
asking
not
him
about
to do. He's not
ducking
doing that.
fights.
That's what you're asking him to do. He would never do that.
I'm just imagining if I wasn't here, it'd be everyone against Larry right now.
It always is because it's always
Because he's
stupid.
always wrong.
You think that Whitebeard is not going to walk right into Impel Down, go into the middle of it, and just quake to the bottom, and then have Marco jump him
Wait,
all the way down?
how did Luffy know he was at
sorry,
Impel Down? It was announced in the newspaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Okay,
said he
okay.
escaped with
But that's what I'm trying to say.
prisoners.
But like, how did Luffy and Blackbeard get in? They were let in. They didn't just break in. They
Wait
were
a
let
second.
in.
Whitebeard has also a second alternative to go to Impel Down because Jinbei was there too, and Jinbei was underneath the Whitebeard pirates.
Well,
then,
Jinbei
right?
was locked up. They had
Yeah.
arrested him because he protested the war.
Right, so then wouldn't
He'd
Whitebeard
have to,
also
like,
are we saying
communicate with
Whitebeard
him.
doesn't care about Jinbei either?
I'm saying,
The first son of the sea, Whitebeard.
he's not a crewmate technically.
I don't think he didn't break.
Ultimately,
yeah.
ultimately, I have to get to the super chat real quick
All right,
it
go
was
to the
from
super chat.
It was from Hidden Island.
Hidden Island! I hope he's still here.
I made him a mod.
Yeah, he's still here.
Oh, he
So
is?
Yeah.
Hidden said, "Man, I'm so glad to see Parvision on the stream this week. Shout outs to my favorite OP podcast. Much love to you guys. Can't wait to hop on the show myself sometime. Everyone, don't forget to drop a like on the stream. Thank you, Hidden.
Yo, Hidden Island with the 20, man.
Appreciate it,
I'm
man.
gonna rub your shoulders when you get here one day.
Also, someone
Miss Scusi.
became our Nakama earlier.
Yeah, it was
Who
was
became
it,
a Nakama?
it was Oz defeated.
Oz, you weren't a Nakama already? How dare you? How dare you? All right.
Much
so,
love, man.
you want to ask a question?
No, in the middle of it, I was just thinking about like how we just ignore the gates of justice.
I know.
Those
I
things
was
are
gonna bring
huge,
them up.
right?
Yeah,
Are
those
they-
things are
I don't think they're stopping.
Yeah, but
Whitebeard,
they're not
though.
stopping Whitebeard.
No, but I was also saying, are they Zunisha
Remember
sized?
for war, remember when Whitebeard did a quake in to the metal thing? Whitebeard couldn't break it.
Yeah, that has sea stone.
My whole argument.
Listen,
Wait, what can he break?
Remember when he did a quake to punch punch that metal thing that risen up?
the
The wall.
the
Yeah, the
walls,
walls.
the
Yeah,
barricading
the walls.
walls.
Whitebeard couldn't break it.
Listen, man. Again,
I mean,
Yo, when Lionel,
he
when
did
Lionel
one
talks,
punch.
just give him the mic.
Okay.
Yeah. Why'd you stop talking? You made it out weird.
I was gonna say also one thing.
Yo, can we just get to the second question?
Yeah, all right. But ended out to just forever the ace thing of executing. I also believe that they want to set an example.
Yeah, man.
Like to shut down. This is what happens when you.
Yeah,
do
but that's
this.
what Parvision was saying, that they tried to do that and it backfired.
That's
So
true.
why would you do it again?
You can't assume it's gonna backfire every time you try to execute a pirate.
So are we just being
It's
a
not
real
just
bad
any
government
pirate.
or not?
we
Like,
have 2 examples of it backfiring. They could have worked 1,000 times before that. We have the 2 most famous pirates ever
but we don't have
causing
those.
it
No,
to backfire.
no, we're not speculating at this point. Like, it happened.
It happened
they,
once.
They were wrong
Before this
twice.
moment, it happened once, to our
All right,
knowledge.
And he was the king.
One
of
time
the
is the
pirates.
rule. Okay,
All right.
come on.
Second question.
Go ahead.
During chapter 1043's cover page, there are apparently silhouettes of the Blackbeard pirates. They're on Whole Cake Island.
Oh, in the back.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
okay.
very faint silhouettes, and it's just speculation, but if you zoom in close, you can see a resemblance of Doc Q, Burgess,
way.
and Blackbeard. What does this mean for the Big Mom Pirates, and what do you think will happen if this is true?
I swear.
These guys are checking right now. Wait, they don't know about this.
Yo, when you pull it up, show me. Because I remember looking at these shadows, and I was like, it's not. I remember thinking, it's
One
not the
Piece
Blackbeard
chapter
Pirates.
1043. The cover page where Oven is bringing
Yeah, I'm looking
Yonji
at
and
it right
Iji.
now.
All right, so if you look all the way at the bottom near the town, there's silhouettes.
Triz asking for his check because he dropped this in the Discord.
Trick, that's definitely you.
Which one's supposed to be Doc Q then?
I can
The one
send
all the
you
way
the
to the left.
Reddit link.
The one all the way.
But I would, and I don't know if it's coming to me.
Yeah, you
but
can.
I would absolutely love it because one, it is a theory that I proposed a while ago that the Blackbeard Pirates would go to Whole Cake Island, and I did take it from Arthur on Library of Ohara. But the point
guy.
being is, the point being is that Blackbeard always eats off of Luffy. Throughout the series, he's always eaten something out of how Luffy impacted the world.
Yeah.
So Luffy going to Whole Cake Island and forcing Big Mom and her forces to split up and come to Wano was the perfect opportunity for him to continue that trend and get a road poneglyph or whatever he wants on Whole Cake Island, which to me would be a road poneglyph rubbing. So I just want to see it because that is the mayhem and the recklessness that I want to see in general. Like Katakuri's still recovering from his fight with Luffy, and it's like, oh man, Yonko's crew's bearing down on us, and I got just Oven because he'd finally start dealing with Marco level problems, and I want to see how he reacts to it. Because when he gets smoked, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody.
It's crazy. A dude
But
got to
whatever.
get jumped in order to equal up to Marco's disappointment
up?
throughout the whole series.
I mean,
but keep going.
I'm just saying he's gonna be in the
I'm
same
just
position.
saying, you're not saying
He's gonna be
anything.
in the same position as Marco is in. But in general,
Marco
beyond
got
the-
slumped by King
beyond,
by himself.
Beyond the Marcos talk, in general, I do like that as a plot progression for the Blackbeard Pirates, for what he was talking about.
Marco got cuffed up by a vice admiral.
He always
but
gets distracted.
We gotta
Whenever Marco comes up, I know
jump
this.
Katakuri to make sure he stands on equal footing with
Man,
Marco's
listen.
disappointment. Anyway, never mind. Go, Lawrence.
I was gonna say, but what about Blackbeard's whole thing that capitalizing on the Marines getting all of something, right? Remember that? Then he shipped out. Remember after we heard the whole reverie thing about Wasabo? And he says we can't let the Marines take everything. Then he says, boys, we're moving out, right?
Okay.
Remember Blackbeard saying that?
I
Yeah.
think there's a couple different
was-
translations of that.
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
know
what I was
what
gonna
the
say.
actual translation is. One of them I saw was if they're not going to take it, then we'll take it. And I saw another one that said what you saying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one I remember.
So
Because my thought, in all honesty, what did Blackbeard want since pre-time skip?
Pirate booty.
Yes, no, pretty much. Ace pretty much on his side, or Ace's ability on his side, right? We just got wind of Sabo possibly being, like dying or being captured or whatever, right? So I'm thinking this is Blackbeard talking. If they're not going to take it, he's been taking abilities, right? So he's going to go where Sabo is and try to take the fire fruit ability from Sabo to add it to his crew. That's what I'm thinking he was planning on doing. So, I mean, it would be dope if he chose the whole cake, but my mind was like, he's been targeting the fire fruit since pre-time skip.
If that were the case, though, why not get it on Marineford, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That is
I mean, there was a
true.
lot
I
going on.
mean,
There was a
are you gonna
lot
take
going on.
Whitebeard's though fruit or
But I mean,
Ace's?
Ace was already dead, right?
Yeah,
Like,
by
it
the
was
time
like
he
easy
got,
pickings.
by the time he actually got Whitebeard's fruit, it's like, Sengoku and Garp are bearing down on me.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
Ace is
kind was
favored.
like right there.
And then Shanks rolls up. He's just like,
But then the question becomes, how did Doflamingo end up getting the fruit in the first place, right? Like,
well,
it's
it
kind of
probably
crazy.
just spawned. Like,
I thought it was the fact that he's an underground broker. Like, it spawned somewhere, like Larry's about to say,
Right.
and like he has the connections. That was the point. Like, he has
Somebody
the
But I
connections.
feel like
Yeah.
the knowledge of how devil fruits like respawn in general isn't like that known, and this actually kind of goes into the Shanks theory because Shanks was there.
but
I wonder what happened.
it's funny that you say that because
it's like you're eating a salad and you have like an apple next to it, and it's just like, yo, what the?
But didn't we find out that reveal with the Blackbeard Pirates? It came out to be like I may be mixing things up. But like, didn't they show like a fruit just spawning in a pile of fruits?
No,
No,
that
was Punk Hazard.
That was Punk Hazard.
Okay,
Yeah.
The axolotl thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was gonna say, Sebastian was saying Blackbeard with like maybe he's on Whole Cake Island for poneglyphs, right? one thing about that is like we kind of don't know. Like I don't think Blackbeard has ever mentioned poneglyphs or ever been motivated by that. Like when you think about it, he showed up at Drum Island, right? He apparently destroyed Drum Island, and Chopper's upset about that. Why did he go there, right? Like that's a little weird. And then he's also went to Baltigo, right? The Jesus Burgess or whatever. Him being there, right? Like, okay, cool, you're there. They could have just picked him up, but then he also like destroyed the island. Like, what's his motivation there, right? And it's not like he would know that Dragon had a poneglyph or anything, right? So it's like it's very interesting what Blackbeard's intentions are with everything, because it's like everyone else is like, we need to go find the One Piece, we need to find the poneglyphs, we need to do whatever, right? The Yonkos don't, like, they care now, but they weren't doing that. Blackbeard's the only one that's kind of just like going everywhere and just messing everything up, right? And we don't know why. We actually don't really know why he's doing that, right?
Yeah.
I think the one time we saw,
probably like super horny or something.
He just likes chaos.
but like that he had Jewelry Bonnie tied up.
Yo,
He was
you,
trying
bro.
to flip her for a ship.
He's
right?
he said, if you're
50
my
Shades
wife,
of
right?
Black, bro.
He said, if you become my wife and join the crew, he said something like that,
he did,
right?
yeah.
But like when
Telling
you
you,
think
bro.
about it, the whole island was on fire and they left because the Navy
He
was
said
coming.
One Piece. I'm just trying to get a piece. So
I created a poll in the chat. That One Piece talk Civil War, Team Seb or Team Larry is 50-50 right now.
I don't know how it's 50-50. He's always
No,
wrong.
you're up.
Anyway, Lionel, go.
That cover page actually did not even notice that Blackbeard or anything. Like I didn't notice anything in the shadows, but I do think that Blackbeard's the only one so far that didn't mention that he actually wanted to become Pirate King. Like he didn't. Like he mentioned like when he came to me for the war, he said this era is my age or my era. But he's right. We don't know Blackbeard's actual end game or goal.
Yeah.
Like we don't know his like if he really cares about being Pirate King. Probably thinks I'm not trying to like make it a cliche, but probably kind of thinks he's trying to do something similar maybe to what Rox is doing and trying to aim for the king of the world. Because I feel like Blackbeard's aiming something big. Like it may be Pirate King is part of it, but I feel like Blackbeard's trying to be something even higher than what the Pirate King is. So that's what my view is like. But we don't know Blackbeard's objective, but he just seemed like he's scheming too much. So it seems like everything's almost calculated, everything's planned. So he's like, so I feel like there's something big with Blackbeard, just we don't know, but I think it might be linked with something with Rox, with being king of the world. That's my feeling.
Low-key doing what Kaido's doing. Blackbeard is low-key doing kind of what Kaido's doing, with the whole gathering abilities. One's with Smiles, but he's with, I guess, abilities that he view is as prominent or rare or something. Yeah, powerful.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
For me, it's like it speaks too much to Black. Like he's the most vaguest character besides Shanks, right? Like there's so much that happens with him, but nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
But one thing that's been proven for Blackbeard is that he has a lot of knowledge. So I wouldn't even be like put off guard if he already knows what the road poneglyphs say before he even like decides to go see if they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I just assume because he knows Zebek, he named the ship after him. Yeah. That name was erased from history according to Sengoku. So how would he know that? We didn't know that as the readers until like 950 plus chapters. Yeah. So there's definitely something there that he knows something. He knows about devil fruits. Obviously, he knows the book. We have never seen this book either, but it exists. Yeah. And if he's collecting certain devil fruits, that means he has even more knowledge of what devil fruits are prominent. Yeah. So maybe the ones that have had the biggest effects on the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it speaks volumes to him, but at the same time, it doesn't say anything about him at all, which makes me so frustrated with Blackbeard as a character. I understand why he's loved, but I don't get the same effect. I don't know if you guys have you watched Naruto?
Yeah.
I don't get the same effect as like Madara. You know, like Madara was a great villain, probably top 5. But it's even though Madara was so vague for most of the show, when he finally entered and had his own like little, thing, he was amazing. And I feel like until we get that Blackbeard moment where he solidifies himself as the final villain of the show, we won't ever think anything more of him than this intriguing mystery character who just happens to create destruction on islands. We don't know anything. So it's like
He's gonna end up being like Hordy.
Hordy?
Blackbeard?
Hordy
No,
Jones.
Oh man.
All right, so question number 3. It's really hard to talk about anything else within the community these days because of the Joy Boy reveal during chapter 1043. Also, the possibility of Luffy's Devil Fruit awakening and being something else than rubber. TCB Scans, these are the guys who translate the chapter for us early, has stated that people who are regular spoiler readers should not spoil themselves with chapter 1044. What could this possibly mean? And we'll start with Lionel.
Wait, are you guys spoiler readers?
Yeah.
This side of the table is.
Yeah.
That side of the table
All
is.
right, I stopped reading. Well, I mean, I got into the manga game really late, so then when people said that there's spoilers, I checked it out, and then I stopped, I think, 1037. So after that, I haven't been. But then this one, I'm just like, oof. But then they said that, and I was like, all right, fine. If they're,
I gotta go back.
Yeah, if they're saying not to, then, you know, I'm going to listen to that, you know?
So you're in the middle. Like, that's funny. You're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
No, and then yes, we're not spoilers.
What do you think, Lionel? What do you think this means? What do you think is coming? Like,
Yo, honestly, I have no idea. Because, like, there's so many thoughts, so many things that could happen. And it's like, and we're all waiting for anticipation of what it's going to mean. Like, so honestly, I really don't really have anything because, like, it could go anywhere. I just have a thought of where Luffy's awakening, like, the capabilities of Luffy's awakening might be. That's just my thought. I already told Lawrence, I already told Sebastian. But where the chapter goes, because, like, people think, you know, they might go to with Zolo now. Like, instead of Luffy being focused, might go to Zolo. I'm still thinking the flashback might happen soon. So
the
honestly,
Kaido flashback.
Yeah, the Kaido flashback,
Okay.
which we all want to happen. So, like, I have no idea, but like we just know off that, and I don't know if that ever happened before. That telling the people who read spoilers not to read these spoilers, like that's crazy. So like something big is going on, and we're like, and I think it's like everybody's just like we want to know. Like,
Yeah.
we want to know. So
What about you, Lo?
Honestly, it's gonna be big. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be big.
How big, bro?
Luffy, elephant. No, I'm kidding. So, because I was actually thinking too, when Lana was reading that scan about it, and it made me think of honestly going back to retrack what I said about earlier about like, because I kept thinking, like out of all ones, like out of the D's, it kind of bothered me that Luffy didn't smile dying, right? Supposedly, right?
Yeah.
If Luffy did in fact die, he didn't smile. Right, but then we see him smile when he awakens, right? Pun intended, because he just woke up and then possibly awakened his fruit. Anyway, yeah. So
Good one, bro.
just awakens. But then it made me think of like how Joy Boy's here. It would be big is the fact that this is Luffy, right? That he acquired the title of Joy Boy, and it made me think of what if that smile was just like Luffy coming back to life. His heart just stopped. Like he didn't fully die. His heart stopped. And he came back to life, and he just smiling, just like, I can beat Kaido, right? Like realizing, like the ability that he just awoken his ability, and with this newfound power of awakening his ability, with all that he learned, Kaido can't, like you know how Kaido can't die? Luffy kind of realizing, I'm like Kaido too.
He's like, damn, yo, plot.
Kind of like he bounces right back up. Like, because I'm trying to thinking, not Luffy restarted his heart himself, but like maybe using a rubber jolt, whatever, like when he was bouncing it or awakening, helped him come back to life, right? Where his life just stopping. So it made me think of like Luffy, that's Luffy's smile, and what he's about to whip out with his awakening mixed with all his other things, realizing that he's now on the level of Kaido, right?
I guess.
So pretty much with his awakening. Like, because I was thinking about the found Joy by what it means as if that Luffy's been Joy the whole time, but it's more like he's coming into knowing what that means for him. Like his own realizing, pretty much like how Luffy said he's not the Pirate King when he lost, right? We're like, no, I can do this. Like, kind of like Kaido can't stop me. I just got, he just kind of like, Kaido got kind of like helped with the CP0 being stopped. But like, even this attack didn't kill me, right? And this is the strongest for us. So like, Luffy's like, I'm always going to bounce back.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Seems like nobody could beat him.
What
about
you
you,
just
Par?
lost? You just lost.
In terms of the chapter, I have no idea, right? Like having this kind of communication where they're telling you not to look is kind of wild. But,
yeah, that is kind of wild.
I'm hoping that they don't say the name of the fruit yet, because I have a video coming out and I'm like
It's like I need to put that out.
that was the one thing, like with the spoilers, I was like, yo, like, do I still make this video? Because like if they just say what it is, then I'm wrong, then there's like no point in making this video. But honestly, during this conversation, I kept on having like this thought. I was like, oh my god, wait, the theory's making way more sense. And one of the things I was thinking about was you know how Blackbeard, he's like collecting fruits, right? And I was just thinking, like, if he's supposed to be like this end game character, right, there's probably something involved with collecting fruits and being able, like, because we don't actually know what happens if you eat multiple devil fruits. We're just told that you can't, right? And Blackbeard's a special person, and then we don't know how, but he's able to, and now he's collecting fruits, and he has some kind of affinity for the fire fruit, possibly, you know, whatever. And then I was kind of thinking, like, if he's supposed to be the opposite of Luffy, then my theory that I thought of before was it kind of means that and I have a really good naming thing. I ran it by Artur, actually, because he knows Japanese. And I was like, damn, this is nice. But so when you think about it, Blackbeard's collecting fruits, right? And when you think about, like, Thriller Bark, like, Luffy was able to put multiple shadows to the point where, like, most people wouldn't be able to tolerate that. So it's like, what if Luffy could also do that same thing? And so the theory that I had was, and I'll just name drop it here because, like, spoilers coming out tomorrow. So, like, I might as well do it now if I can't get my video. But the idea was that this is a way that would keep it the Gomu Gomu no Mi, would be that the fruit's name would be the Shushu no Mi. And so Shushu means collection. And the thing about devil fruit names is that they run by onomatopoeia. And so the onomatopoeia for Shushu, the Shu was actually in 1043 when Luffy blows out air. The kanji for Shu is right there. And so you say Shushu, that's collection fruit. So when you say Shushu, that's collection. When you just say Shu, it can mean other things. And so the onomatopoeia would be fire rising, or snake hissing. That's what the onomatopoeia in Japanese are. And then you think about Luffy's Snake Man, snake hissing, and then the whole fire stuff. He randomly has a fire power. And there's a lot more to the theory that, like, I would just take up the whole episode if I just dropped everything. But the reason why I was just like, wait, this kind of makes sense if we're saying Blackbeard's collecting devil fruits. Like, the way I'm saying Luffy's fruit works is that he works by collecting willpower, collecting things from people. And we kind of see that with Ace. Ace dies, then he gets the fire fist. And it progressively, as we go on with the story, it's people at the beginning were saying it's friction based. And I was like, now you like, where's the friction? Some, like, in the animation also, they're just showing him just pull out fire, and then he's immune to fire too now. And so it's like there's so many different elements to you know, from the very beginning where Luffy is just going through the story and collecting willpowers. And one of the biggest ones, and this is I'll include this in my video, is that there's one pirate beyond Katakuri that Luffy connected with the most. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
Which pirate?
Bellamy. This is the one pirate, one antagonist. He, at the end of it, called him a friend. In the chapter that Bellamy lost right before Doflamingo, it's called the final fight, his final fight. And it's so after he beats Bellamy down that time, right? Bellamy puts his life on the line as a pirate. He said, I'm literally dying for this because I followed the wrong pirate. And so Luffy beats him, and then right after that, he's no longer a pirate. He's dying. He's making flags for people. He's a dyer now. That's his new profession. So he's no longer a pirate. Luffy literally killed him as a pirate. And what's interesting is when you think about Bellamy's power, he's bouncing off of things, right?
Similar to
what did Luffy 5 chapters later? So the Bellamy fight was I think it was like 769 or something, or 779, and then 785 was Luffy pulls out Python. Python literally looks exactly like Bellamy's fighting style. Literally, there's no the panels, you could just put them side by side. It's the same thing.
So he not only takes different willpowers, but he can also take
Yeah.
different devil fruits.
And like
Or
how
mimic
he's
them.
able to do it, we don't know. But that's my point. Is like somehow, some way, he's able to collect these things. And you think of rubber. Rubber is a very malleable, adaptable thing. And so the how is it still the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and why did the Gorosei name it that rather than the Shushu no Mi? Because if you knew it was a collection fruit, how would you use that fruit? You know that you have to collect things, right? So that's a problem. If you know that that's how you have to run through like with this fruit and collect things and beat people, that's already an automatic win. But why would they name it that? It's like it was probably collected previously that this Gomu power was there. And so when the Gorosei is looking like, what should we name it? Because it has to be something that the people can use. They chose the stupidest power that they could think of, right? If you had a bunch of powers in there and the rubber is there, you don't think anybody's going to run through the world with
gravitate
rubber.
towards that one,
Right.
yeah.
And so they're like, that's why we renamed it this. We didn't think there'd be some dumbass who just running through the Grand Line.
That would mean it's just one for all. Like, I don't like the idea of that.
So what's interesting though is like people might say that, and then the interesting part is like Oda came up with it first, and he's been demonstrating it. I think in a very different way, where it's like if you think about it, and for the people that know My Hero Academy, it's like imagine you gave the All for One power and you only had Black Whip. Like that's so dumb, right?
Listen, bro.
So
But hold on. But this is the difference too for like why Luffy is so great. It's
Yeah.
because of the fact that he
took
wills
that.
himself to, do the impossible. And it's like, I guess that's one of the issues that I'm having now with him beating Kaido, is because if he has this sort of, how can I say it? It's just, he doesn't necessarily have the ability, but every time we've seen him fight, he's always pulled the dub through his means.
Yeah.
But now if he has a different means and he's given this power where he hasn't earned it, it kind of goes against the whole show and also his whole character.
So that's where I think, this is like really important to One Piece. It's like I'll keep referencing this starfish, that Papagu. The
He
starfish.
willed himself to talk.
Yeah. And because why? From his birth, he believed he was human,
He
right?
was really a Jamaican starfish.
Yo,
That's
is
so
that
funny.
the story of him?
Yeah,
I'm
that he has-
blanking on that.
No, he wanted to
completely.
become a human.
No,
Or
it wasn't
he thought he was a
from
human.
birth. He thought he was human, so he never doubted that. He just was able to speak from birth, right?
Yeah.
So with Luffy, right?
Yo, Oda's so dumb.
for Luffy, right? From the very beginning,
I
he's
don't
told it's
remember
the Gomu Gomu no Mi. That's what he believes. That's what it's gonna stay as. That's what I believe. I think that even with this power, it's more so like he's just incorporating wills like his brother
Hold on.
and whatever.
So, I don't remember which happened first, but did Shanks tell him it was the rubber fruit before he actually started stretching?
So the
Because that's the only way I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Because if Shanks told him before he started stretching, all right, then I believe that. But if Luffy whenever Shanks grabbed his feet and he just fell down,
I think in the anime
did Shanks said it after?
I think the anime added the dropping one, but I think he had the
He
arm
pulled
pulling,
him. He pulled his
and
arm.
in the same page it was like Lucky Roo said it, and
Okay,
then
so that arm
Shanks,
stretch
right.
happened before Shanks told him
So
that.
and that's where it's important, where it's like this Gomu Gomu no power is like integral to the thing, right? So it's kind of like you have to add to it. And so the reason why I thought about this was like it's really important to think about why the Gorosei all of a sudden needs him to be defeated before Kaido, right? Why wouldn't they wait until after Kaido runs his course through Luffy? Why wouldn't
I
they
asked
wait
that question.
till afterwards? Because then they could just cherry pick, right?
I mean, they didn't know Zunisha was there.
So, but
When
do we have confirmation that the
Zunisha
Gorosei
came-
ever
when-
recognized Zunisha? We have that last panel on 1037, but they never acknowledged Zunisha.
So those 3 pages, right? Because it's back to back to back. It goes, the Marines or the CP0 says there's like a floating island.
Yeah.
And then they say it's moving.
Right.
Then the Gorosei happen, and then they go, go after Luffy. The fruit's name is different. We changed
Well, they
it.
don't tell them. They don't tell that to the people on the ship. Like, there's no confirmation that the people on the ship were talking to the Gorosei.
Yeah,
right?
there
That's
isn't any
true too.
confirmation.
That's true too. But the
Right.
only thing is, Zunisha appears in the next page, and then it ends the chapter.
So
Like-
my thing is
So
like,
it's
if Zunisha's there, why wouldn't they tell the CP0 like, yo, there's a giant fucking elephant here. You gotta speed this shit up, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like why wouldn't they mention that at all? The one thing they said was like, you have to beat Luffy before right now. Like there's no like time. It's now or never. You have to beat him, right?
Well, it's also, it depends. It's because what happened during the Reverie with Shirahoshi as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to assume that Shirahoshi probably, they know she's in alliance with Luffy. So that means, like, Luffy has a ancient weapon under his belt. He has Frankie, who knows probably of some sort of the Pluton. But what if Momonosuke, who's probably going to be on his side if they win the battle against Kaido, he's like a mini Shirahoshi. So in a sense, he's like a fourth ancient weapon. So if he could control Zoe could just take out Marineford if they don't attack it. So they're probably just scared that Luffy's ability to create all these allies would then fold in like he has now 2 ancient weapons realistically.
So the thing is, it's like we don't know how connected the Gorosei are to Onigashima in the sense of how much information they're getting, right? Like, because they didn't know whether Robin was captured. The CP0 didn't even know, but they were like, I'm assuming she's already captured by now. I'm pretty sure there was a line like that, like, she's probably captured by now or something, but the CP0 wasn't even close. So it's like they're not actively talking, and I doubt that they are getting play-by-plays, right? Like the NBA or something, right? They're not getting play-by-plays like that. And so with the collection thing is like, if the contingency is like they can't wait until if there's a world where Luffy beats Kaido, that's really bad. Why? Because he could possibly collect something from Kaido. That's why I was like, the whole awakening
I see
part,
where you're going with that.
right? Because other than that, if I was the Gorosei, I'd be like, okay, strongest person in the world, fighting Luffy. I'm just gonna wait until whatever happens afterwards, and it's like
or it could be the whole America equals Kaido thing, where they're like, "Yo, if he takes out Kaido, we no longer now can get weapons."
But they already earlier, I forget what chapter, but the CP0 is like, regardless of the outcome of this battle, we're preparing.
We're gonna eat regardless.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't matter which side wins. They said that, so they didn't at that point. They didn't care if Luffy won or Kaido. They didn't care. But it wasn't until they started thinking about the fruit.
Yeah.
And then they were like, wait a second. Then after the next conversation, it's like, it's immediate. It's on site.
It could go in so many ways.
My
pushback is, because I like your theory, I do. The collection theory.
I haven't even said all of it.
Oh, I'll have to wait for that video if you drop it. But is it better than my theory? Is the question. I'm joking. But in general, I mean, so, and to answer the original question was, I'm trying to remember what it is.
Why 1044 is so
1044?
crazy.
Well, one, man, I don't care what TCB says. I'm gonna read them spoilers. Bro. I don't care. It's the kind of person I am. Nah, I'm gonna try to wait this week. I'm gonna try.
Do it.
I'm not.
I'm gonna try. Larry, don't
It
spoil
takes
me.
willpower.
Larry be spoiling me even when I'm trying not to.
I don't
Yo,
have
I gotta
patience.
stay
He'll
with
be
the
like,
Larry.
yo,
I gotta stay
and just
with the
text
Larry.
me. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yo,
But,
if something crazy happened, I'm texting you, bro.
But that's why I alluded to my theory is that they shift focuses from Robin immediately after Zunisha came.
Right.
So maybe they're not getting a full play-by-play, but they know if they have the knowledge of the prophecy and it's like, oh, Luffy's fulfilled so much of it, we can't take the risk that he comes into contact with Zunisha.
But this is the only pushback I have. Why wouldn't you take Luffy out way before this?
Them not realizing the fruit, right? Like, because then when they put the fruit into context, that's why I think it is his fruit, because it's like, that's what changed ever since before.
But the framing
right?
of the chapter is Zunisha being the fruit. Like, that's
Exactly.
what the cliffhanger is.
That is true.
It would be a full, like,
Hold on.
you know?
They know he has the collection fruit.
I just want to point out that the framing of that chapter also kind of parallels with the framing of Joy Boy over Luffy right now, where it's like, if Zunisha isn't the fruit, then it might also be that Joy Boy isn't Luffy. Like, it's kind of parallel in that way.
I've been saying this. Yo, Momonosuke might really be Joy Boy, yo.
So there's actually a panel.
Might be.
No, so
After
like
we
this
just saw?
is a straight up meme, but like you know you guys use the thumbnail too from 253, like they're on Skypea, the drum, right?
Yeah.
The drums of liberation, that's supposed to be Joy Boy. Who's playing the drums in that?
Oh my
So the
God.
drums are his heartbeat.
No, he's saying Usopp.
No,
bro.
but Usopp's playing the drums there. So I like this is a meme thing, but later on in Skypea there was an interesting thing where they were talking about the pyro blow-in on the thing, and so there was next panel wide on the thing. It was Joy Boy. It was Usopp and Luffy, and they were both like acting like they knew what pyro blowing was. And Usopp was like, I used to play with that as a kid when I played with it. And it's just like, Usopp saying some shit like that, it's like, wait a second, is this? And then Luffy did the same thing. And so if you think that Luffy's son got
I'm not
Nika,
liking where you're going with
and
this.
then
That's the only theory I don't support.
I didn't make a video on it. I'm just
Listen,
saying.
don't.
I'm just saying that it's like
Usopp don't deserve any
support-
credit.
Oda trolls a lot, and that's a crazy troll. Like for him to point out that chapter was like that panel was his favorite thing, and the emphasis on the drums. And I think I forget whether I was on stream. I forget where I was, but someone was saying that. And Oda, I don't know if you guys know this, but Oda's like one of his favorite manga of all time is Your Lie in April, and he's just like one of the biggest things is like music and like doing anything with music is very difficult. So he commended the author for doing that. And someone was saying, I think Artur was saying it to me actually, that that Oda said that. Oh yeah. You know, like the onomatopoeia for like hitting and stuff like that. It's very different than in other mangas where it's like they'll use a boom sound or clash sound. And Oda specified that it had to be a drum sound. It had to be, and so that drum, like I was just, and then everyone always brings up Drum Island and like drums are really important. Drums of liberation now, and it's like, so why would he have Usopp playing the drums? That's just like
So-
that's some Oda level
So far,
troll.
We have a guy in our Discord named Triz, and he came up with this amazing drums of liberation theory that he posted on Reddit. And I think it's blown up a bit. I don't know if it was directly from him, but he had like looked up so much research. It was like Parvision level research that he was doing as far as like West African tribes and
Yeah, that's pretty
he
wild.
was relating every single D-Clan member
Right.
to references to drummers or drum sets or drum like lore in the real world. And he went down from Roger to Rouge to Ace to Saul, all of them.
Okay.
And so I'll have to send you that.
Yeah.
Triz, post a link in the Discord when you get a chance. But the drums, it could be anything, man. I don't know about Usopp per se.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
like obviously when you make theories, right? Like you have to have multiple. You can't have one. And then that one, I was just like, nah.
Listen when I
is
tell
this
you.
it? Is this it? Like,
Usopp. Ain't nothing relating to him, bro.
yo, remember last time?
His dad left him,
Remember
bro.
in Dressrosa, he didn't do shit, and what happens? He becomes God Usopp.
Listen, man.
Listen,
don't
man.
sleep on Usopp. That's
Listen,
all.
bro.
I got a back par on this
His
one.
dad went for milk, never came back. He's not good, bro.
I'm just
You can
saying
say that question, man.
the parallel, right? Like,
You can say that about every One Piece dad. Every single dad in One Piece is a terrible father, except Kinemon, who's not even a dad.
Law's parents
Odin was
were
pretty
not
solid, right?
terrible.
Owen, he had his kid on a pirate ship. That's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Oden was
negligence
wilding
there.
out.
I don't know.
Law's parents weren't bad. They were doctors.
They were. I mean, if you compare them to the One Piece parents, they're great. But like, who knows what they were actually out here doing, man? I don't
Yeah,
know.
bro. They could have been involved in like a whole lot of gang stuff.
Well, okay.
All right.
At least they stayed.
So fourth question.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this is a pretty good question. This question is influenced and comes from Soba Sanji on TikTok.
Oh.
He's probably one of my favorites to follow on TikTok. He mentions, imagine Oda never threw away the idea of bounty hunters. Zoro was hunting pirates as a way of living. Bounty hunters could have been a perfect replacement for the Shichibukai, and we could have seen possibly one on the level of Yonko. What do you guys think about this? And we'll go with Sebastian first.
All right, so when you say replacement for the Shichibukai, you mean like after they got
Well,
demolished?
You have to
Or
I would say the bounty hunters are there. They've always been there. But the Shichibukai are now gone.
okay.
And the bounty hunters kind of like take their place in a way.
All right, okay. I thought you were saying like the Shichibukai never existed in the series.
No, they exist.
Okay.
No, they exist.
Well, hell yeah. There's no reason why bounty hunters aren't more prevalent. I mean, I guess we don't have time for all that, but you
Yeah.
could have just wrote one super dope bounty hunter, super dope group of bounty hunters and made an arc about it. We talk all the time about how there should have been an arc before Wano, before Luffy dealt with it. Easily could have made that a bullet situation where bounty hunters were trying to get bullet. Whatever. Just bounty hunters should have been more prevalent in the series because as of now, bounties are just a power scaling tool that people use at this point. Like they're not they're not what they could or should be in the series, and I love them because they're so hype and stuff. But like in general, like they don't do much other than create a number, and then we have to guess about what the number is and stuff like that. Like it's something to talk about. But if you had people actively trying to collect these bounties, like Luffy sailing, and it's not just Marines going after him, it's some Super Hawks bounty hunter, like. Say Crocodile had a group of bounty hunters, like not Crocodile per se, but somebody like Crocodile created an organization of bounty hunters. Like I think the closest thing we got was the guy Gene on
Gene Bandit.
Yeah, the bandit dude on Dressrosa in the Coliseum, and it's like you could have expanded on that on like a whole nother level, and just not even it doesn't even need to be a crazy long arc, like 15 to 20 chapters. Just do that, introduce a super strong character, have Luffy have to fight them. Deal with that. Maybe somebody does maybe they try to collect Usopp's bounty. You know what I mean? Like you could deal with a lot. And I know I said Usopp just to troll you, but in general, he's a weaker member of the crew with a high bounty. Like Usopp's bounty is higher than his actual skill level is to this point.
Yeah.
In most people's opinion, not mine, but whatever. But you get what I'm saying? Bounty hunters would have been dope. And I know they agree over there. So.
What about you, Lo?
Honestly, me and Lano have been talking about this for a good minute, where it doesn't make, I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense, but like Sebastian was saying, it should have been more in the show. Like, for example, to go in like DC terms in the DC universe, Los Lobos, what's his name? The University bounty hunter. What's it? Lobo.
Thank you, Marv.
Yeah, Lobo from the DC universe.
That first? That he popped into the thing?
That's what's up, Marv. MCU all day.
Yeah, but like Los.
I know you guys couldn't hear him, but Marv spoke.
Lobo from the DC universe, like he's a universal bounty hunter, and he's crazy strong. Like someone he could even fight Superman, right? But having that aspect in One Piece would have made the show even better, even greater. Because now, like you have all these crazy high bounty hunter bounties in One Piece from pirates and whatever. Yet who's trying to collect them? You know, like who's actually going after? Because they said that they would hear Ace's bounty and they would drill. They would see this person's bounty, and be like, oh, but no one's strong enough to go after them. And how dope it would have been. We're like, either a few bounty hunters or the same one that's strong and keeps coming after the Straw Hats. Like you only hear the main battles we see is like pirates and Marines and pirates. Why aren't bounty hunters on this level? Like, because this is money to be taken. Right now, the two biggest bounty hunters we got was Bandit, and Zoro, and he became a pirate. You know, like pretty much. Where are the rest of the bounty hunters? Because it should be like just like we see like a class of pirates. There should have been a class of bounty hunters, and honestly, even bandits. Like this is a world where like everyone's profession, because they show we got a little bit more of that in Dressrosa, where we're seeing military might and officers there, and we see one bounty hunter, and he was saying he was going after the level 6 prisoners, but there should be stronger ones to rival even. This is maybe too much, but like what bandit could go after the Yonko? Not one. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like it would have made the show a lot better and gave actually more stuff you could do with the show of more potential fighters for the Straw Hats or other pirates, you know? Like fighting Yonko or fighting the Marines, where you have people like even you have a band that has like a sense of justice. Not only does he collect bounties, but he does it to feed his family and to take down these pirates who are running amok.
So I don't know if you can have a Yonko level bounty hunter.
Yeah. There should be.
It would be
No,
dope.
there shouldn't.
Yes, it would.
There shouldn't, because then every other pirate that's not on that level is just getting collected and taken to the.
Imagine Oda's just sitting right there, and he's like, "Bro, is it not enough?"
No, what I mean is like, if you're not Yonko level and you don't have a backing of a Yonko, and this Yonko level bounty hunter bears down on you, you're getting locked. Like that's it. There's nothing you could do. There would just be the Yonko and that guy until any pirate ends up defeating him.
There would be a league of like assassins in a way.
Yes.
Because there would be a top dog running these assassins or bounty hunters.
So I've always talked about this too. Like at a certain point, these bounties that the Yonko level people get, they don't mean anything, right? Because there's nobody who's cashing in on them. But another point that I want to make is like, technically, when you think about the Warlords, they kind of are the bounty hunters. Because like, What did
Moria
Blackbeard
was.
do? Yeah, Moria was he. I'm pretty sure he was allowed to cash in because he was a warlord, and his position in the Grand Line was to filter out the pirates, and so he was. And as a warlord, it's not like they're going after him, so they get Dang, another $20 super chat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you.
It gets like this.
So the Moria was that, and then Crocodile was also he had Baroque Works, right? That's a bounty hunter thing. So that's two of them, and both of them were kind of like filtering out pirates and getting out certain things. So when you think about it, the Warlords were kind of like bounty hunters, and then you also think about it, Blackbeard's a mission into the Warlords. He collected Ace's bounty, essentially. Like, I don't know if he got the money from it, but he became a warlord after he gave them Ace, right?
You think
like,
they paid him?
So did
I'd be
so did Law.
so mad.
I don't know if they paid him. But when you think about the whole point of bounty hunters and what they're supposed to do, the warlords kind of did do that. Some of them. We don't know about like Kuma, what he was doing.
Dofi wasn't doing that.
But Doflamingo had
was
an
already
interesting system on his own, right?
Yeah.
Like being where he was. He could do whatever he
Yeah,
wanted.
he had
right?
infinite money as far as we knew.
Yeah.
I think we skipped Lionel though, my bad.
Go Lionel. He was just like in trance. He's like, yo, this is so good.
No, you guys pretty much said what I kind of agree with. The only thing I have is like the whole about bounties being stronger than what we've seen is mostly the show is mostly about willpower. Can you like what bounty hunter is gonna have a strong willpower than these people trying to become pirates?
Hold on,
Zoro, bro.
on.
He was a bounty hunter.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I get you, but his profession wasn't a bounty hunter. He just took up that name because he needed money and needed new swords. But his whole dream was becoming
Okay, I
the
can
world's
see
greatest
that.
swordsman.
I get you.
Hold on. That's a will of its own. Like, you might not think it's a big will, but it's a will unless, of itself.
I think what he's saying though is more like someone like Zoro and Mihawk, right? They weren't necessarily bounty hunters for the sake of bounty hunters. They were like, I'm gonna be the strongest. I am the strongest.
They
so
could
it's
have
like,
had Mihawk bounty hunt as a hobby.
But we
Just
still
like,
don't.
hey,
We
this is
still
fun.
don't know how Mihawk runs himself because that was something I talked about in the Kaido video, where it's like at a certain level with the pirates, like. Oda has been introducing like financial like backing to a certain extent, and so it's like at the end of the day, when you think about the bounties that matter, they're not worth getting because the people are that strong, right? So you have to have Mihawk. Like Mihawk would be the only pirate who doesn't have a crew, who can sail on his own, and like how else is he making money, right? Everyone else has territories. Everyone else is.
He's a vampire stripper.
Like he's using Perona, like
Yeah.
We did get a
No,
super
Perona's
chat.
like, yo, I'm gonna throw some like negativity at you. And that's how he boosts his willpower and gets stronger.
That's a good training. We did get a super chat consistent with this question. It's from Amanda Hug and Kiss. It's $20. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
It says, "Hey, don't sleep on Johnny and Yusaku. Now they are time. They have a time
Yo,
skip
I
now."
forgot about those two.
I mean, what they doing?
Nah, they're not doing that.
Yep. Because. Dang it.
Here's a good question. Do you think Oda's gonna bring back those characters like
Yes.
Jin?
Yes.
Like
Oh my God, I hope Jin comes
yeah,
back.
like
Jin,
some of these
Jin.
characters are meant to be brought back.
Not a no.
And Nell's coming
Not
back.
yet. Nell's
coming
coming
back.
back.
Nell's coming
Part
back.
question. Were you one of those people that thought Jin could be who's who?
No, I didn't think that.
I was one of those
But
people.
someone said that he could be Green Bull, and I was like, wait.
No.
For a second, I was like, maybe, but then I was like, I don't think that would make sense for him to join the.
A no coming back.
Yeah,
Nell's
Nell's coming
coming
back.
back.
Yeah,
I'm coming
yeah,
back.
Yeah, Nell.
I
I'm on your
believe
side
it.
for
And he
that.
gonna die.
Now, going back for the world thing, what Lino was saying, you could have someone trying to be the world's greatest bounty hunter. That's
Yeah.
Like collecting the highest bounty.
exactly.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
You
that would-
understand
that
that's,
would-
that's like Dragon and Kaido right now, right? You're gonna
We don't know
die.
Dragon's
Yeah.
bounty though.
you
Do
gotta
think-
work your way up to it.
Do you think Dragon's bounty is higher?
He should have the highest.
Because
Yo, low key,
if it's higher, is it because he's stronger?
Didn't they say his was the highest?
Yeah,
he just
the
said
most wanted man.
listen, if he hasn't killed a celestial dragon with his bare hands, I don't see him having a bigger bounty than like Kaido.
It's
should,
an
though.
interesting.
I'm
thing.
serious.
Honestly, going by what they said, he should have a higher bounty than Whitebeard. Maybe
Listen,
even Roger.
man, he just going after things that they scared of.
Because have you noticed?
That's it.
When
He's
they're
trying to overturn something that he can't do
when the
by
government
himself.
when the government was breaking down bounties,
Preach, Larry.
when the government was breaking down bounties, they said that Whitebeard and Go Roger had the highest bounty, right? But they
pirates.
only said for pirates They didn't say in the world or
Listen,
in
Did
general.
they explicitly say pirates?
Just
Yeah.
pirates.
I'm gonna be real as hell with
So-
y'all. Dragon gonna disappoint us.
No, he's not. He's not gonna
Straight up. I'm calling it now.
See, I'm a big Dragon supporter, but I believe you.
Yo,
I believe you.
I'm telling you.
Disappoint. You know what? When he got shook, when Sabo got whatever happened to him, his face when he was reading
Listen,
the
man,
newspaper.
he don't even be
I
calling
was like,
shots.
come on, son.
But to be fair,
I was like, come on. Son.
to be fair,
I've been
Kaido
waiting.
hasn't rolled up on Marineford either.
You would think
Nah,
that
but-
somebody with a widow's peak as deep as his
Nah.
would be more Vegeta.
You know what? You know what? Kaido, I mean, Dragon right where he need to be in that Vegeta lane. Not relevant.
Come on, bro. Like,
Not relevant.
you mean like Marco?
Same?
He,
okay.
every
Okay.
chance he
Okay.
gets, he brings up Marco.
Okay.
Is he a hater?
There's two things I feel like Oda should have added where he kind of messed up on. Was one, the bounty hunter thing. Also, other swordsmen trying to become the greatest swordsman.
Oh yeah, because there's
Yeah.
like two, right?
Yes.
And everybody's like, "Yo, Mihawk over Shanks." You know?
Yeah.
Who Mihawk beat?
Oh my
Who
god.
Mihawk beat?
Because
Nobody.
Me and Albert talk about Zolo has not come across one person besides Mihawk trying to become the world's greatest
He,
swordsman.
he came across that Russ dude. That went hard for a second. That Russ guy was crazy.
Yo,
you remember that or
No,
not?
I don't.
You don't remember? Was that filler?
Russ-
It might
I
have been
think
filler,
it
bro.
was
Zoro fought
yeah, it did,
a
'cause it's the
marine
sword.
that could rust anything.
Oh,
They
that
rusted the
That
sword.
was Eddie's lobby, yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
he
was
caught
like,
he caught the sword.
I know he's
he was about to, he caught Zoro.
Yo, future sight.
yo,
Future
Imagine
sight.
his training. He's just sitting there catching everything.
Yeah, you know, blow Larry's mind. You know who beat him? For Zoro?
Usopp. I remember that. I remember that.
All right, so we go on any other questions? Because I'm all out.
I have a question. Well,
Go
more
ahead.
of a comment. It's about your Kaido analysis
Yeah.
video, and I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. It's something that you were bringing up about Kaido being like America, and you were referencing the opioid crisis, slavery, the mass incarceration system,
Right.
his connection to all the world weapons and everything. And there's one thing that I don't think that you brought up that really vibed with me after I saw it, and it relates to Wano itself. Kaido's currently trying to drop an A-bomb on the Japanese equivalent of.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
So it's like
I didn't even realize
really,
that.
He really is America.
Yeah. So I didn't want to bring the Japanese stuff into it because not that I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I need to do way more research to make it make sense.
Okay.
But I did mention that his presence on Wano is very similar to America's presence in Japan after World War II. America screwed up so many things for them, and and they're still dealing with it, right? And another connection that I never brought up was one of the things after World War II is Japan was never allowed to have a defense, an offensive army. They only could have a defensive force. And you think about Wano too, all the samurais were either labor force or you joined his beast pirates. There was no other thing. He was pretty much crippling their ability. And I think Akainu, he was not afraid, but he held them in high regard. That's an island of samurais. We're not messing with them, right? And he does. In his basis is probably Odin, right? But it's kind of just one of those things where I feel not just with Kaido. I think Kaido was because when you think about it, right, the U.S. is a world power, right? And when you think about world powers, it makes sense that Oda would use the U.S. as a reference for all the world powers in One Piece. And so that, I think Kaido was the heaviest one, but Big Mom shared a lot. You think about the Navy, them having bases all across the world, right? There's so many references, and it sounds but Oda's Japanese, why would he use that? But it's the U.S. is a world power. They affected history so much, and I always think about this thing with a lot of things. It's you can be the hero, but if you live long enough, you end up
Become
being
the villain.
right? And so, in a lot of ways, I think the world government is an example of that, where it's maybe they start off with great intentions, or they were good, or whatever it was, but they stayed long enough, and they are now seeing themselves being seen as the villain by everybody, right? So I think that concept plays as an inspiration for a lot of things that Oda did, and Kaido especially.
Low key, Parvision just said that the D clan and the Ancient Kingdom were evil.
Yo, he did, and I didn't know how to take that just
I mean, so the other thing about it is perspective, right?
Uh-huh.
When you think about like if Oda wants to give the premise of World War II to the D clan, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. But a lot of things, it's like history's written by the victors, right? So it's like we don't know what the D clan is. I don't know if they're necessarily evil, but they're painted out to be evil, right?
Those who win justice.
Right, exactly.
Dofy always right, man.
Doflamingo,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Out
He knows
here.
he knows.
Fortune cookie of the One Piece world.
Yo, somebody, Zan Burrs in the chat said Kaido for president. He's got my vote.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we take calls.
I was gonna bring up something when I was.
Oh, go ahead.
So, like I said, I told Lawrence and Sebastian this, but it's on Luffy's awakening, and like, you know how pretty much people have misconceptions or different beliefs on Luffy's awakening, think it's something else. I still think it's rubber. I actually saw a video and looked at how they actually get rubber from the rubber tree. And when you pour out from the tree, the rubber is actually like a liquid form. It's like sap or whatever, right? And we see like Luffy's like doing like a melting thing. So I started thinking of like now Lawrence said a long time ago that Lawrence always thought that Luffy's base is gonna be like something like Kid Boo's. Like, you know, he could change his form or he could be cut and he just reform it. Which, if that could happen, I don't know. But I was thinking of, like, you know, since it's liquid, I don't know if it's going to be like a Lagia, but I still think it's going to change forms, right? And I got the idea from what I saw with Katakuri. You know, some people think that Luffy's ability is going to be like Katakuri's, right? Like, have some type of form that he's going to do awakening and have his arms and hit, like, a whole bunch of people like Katakuri did, make a whole bunch of arms. I thought of that would be the way, like, it would be cool, but I think it would be copying Katakuri. So I didn't really like that. And Bash came up thinking about the staff, like him carrying a staff, you know, and
Like
being like the
Sun
monkey.
Wukong,
Yeah, Sun Wukong, like the Monkey King. And I said, that would be cool, but again, I don't think that really fits Luffy's style. But I thought something that fits more of Luffy's style, and also what the Monkey King also does. Monkey King makes clones of himself. And I think that Luffy's going to probably start making clones of himself with his awakening, and he start probably doing Gear 4, Snake Man, and Take Man, or all at the same time, or all Gear 4 is a Kaido, or Snake Man's at Kaido, something like that.
So like Cracker.
Pretty much like Cracker or Doflamingo, but at a grander scale that they could.
There goes your taking.
I was about
Will.
to say, it feeds into his collection theory, and that would be fire if he's making like Snake Man, Bound Man, and Tank Man, and you're jumping Kaido.
I hope it happens and he gets demolished.
Oh, no, that's a lot to deal with.
I hope he gets demolished. Like Kaido's like, what? Nah.
Getting hit with all those different.
It's a whole Naruto.
That's a lot,
it's
bro.
Naruto versus Sasuke.
That's a lot
Sasuke
to
was
deal
just
with,
dominating him, bro.
Don't compare Naruto to Luffy, bro.
I like that you went to another level with it, because when people bring up like it changing to a Logia fruit, like my thing is like if it changes just to substance, Kaido still wins. Like that doesn't like what we're gonna say Kaido is gonna lose against Katakuri or that's not gonna. It has to be another level thing. And so where the resin theory and my theory kind of connect was like. The way I see it is like Hawkins fruit, where Hawkins fruit is a straw fruit, right? But then somehow he makes voodoo dolls, and you can connect someone's fate to it. That's an extension of the power that, yes, it's a straw fruit, but there's an extension that Oda connected to, and it makes sense. But you know, it's not just like I'm straw fruit, I just control straw fruit. I'm rubber, I can liquefy or whatever, right? So the next level is if it's resin, right? When you think about resin, amber is what you use to preserve things. And so that's a possible way. And so that's where my theory and that theory connect, where it's like, if you're collecting things, you have like a storage. You can, like, if Joy Boy was a collected will, or Sun God Nico was a collected will, that's something that was lying dormant, and unless you knew about it, you couldn't really awaken it, right? And then the resin theory is like, in this moment where Luffy is like down and out, the resin, if he awakens resin, he's bringing something that was preserved over time. And so I can see how those things connect. And but I do like that one with the you know, creating multiple clones. The other thing was, I think Brago brought this up, was like there was a panel, I think before Sabaody, where they were like, they saw the resin from the trees. And so it was a very interesting panel, because like she's talking about the resin stuff, right? And then we just see Luffy like bouncing around on these bubbles, and it's like, this is resin. So if it is a resin thing, then maybe that's how Luffy interacts with it. He creates like bubbles or something. I don't know.
Did you see Grand Line's video that said, you know how everybody talks about how that Sun God Nika partying on Skypiea is his favorite panel that he ever drew? Apparently, that panel about the resin
Was
is
another
one of his other favorites.
Right.
And people are like buying into the resin theory because of that.
Right.
Oda's explanation, I think, in Grand Line's video was just that it was the most realistic thing he'd ever done because resin really does create bubbles in that way. He was like, I just liked how like down to earth that actually is.
Yeah.
And who knows if Oda's just BSing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that rubber was made from trees.
It's not an
I'm
intuitive
gonna be
thing.
real, bro.
Who knows?
I thought it was a bunch of
blowing
like
from
different
stupid time.
materials put together.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's how tires was like. That's how I thought of it.
Right,
I was like, yo,
right.
rubber is a bunch of things put together and mixed together and then formulated.
It's not
I was like,
intuitive.
yo, it comes from a tree.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And what's even crazier is it's like an ancient invention. I don't know which tribe, Aztecs, Mayan, but they had it when the colonizers came over. They were playing with rubber balls, and
Those colonizers.
the people were just like, "What is
Bringing
this
rubber
nonsense?"
balls and disease.
But when you think about like what Anel said, right? Like, and when he went to Skypiea, rubber didn't exist there. Rubber, they were like, what is rubber? Usopp was.
I mean, but there was some big trees.
You know, but so they were like, you need a special tree, right?
Yeah.
But so the way they were like, they traded dials for rubber bands. Like they were like rubber. And so when I think about that, that reminds me a lot of what happened in reality when the settlers came over. They were like, rubber.
Yeah.
What is this? This is crazy. This is new. We're gonna take all of it. And so then what they did was that they figured out how to make it, and then they made it better elsewhere. I think India is now the larger exporter. Like right after, because originally it was Brazil, but then very soon after they realized a much more efficient process. I think in Asia. I don't think they didn't do anything.
Shout out to India, yo.
So
Par, if you trapping rubber, it's alright, bro.
Shut up, bro.
You want to get the calls?
Yeah, let's get to calls. Let's start them early. I want to see if they have questions for Parvision, actually. That's going to be interesting.
hey, that's exciting.
Do you prefer Par or Viz? Or do you want us to just say Par
PV.
Viz?
Yo, putting me on the spot. You know, I told you I don't even know. Honestly, like,
Oh, we got a call.
yeah.
Pushing P.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Hey, Larry, it's Trick. How y'all doing?
Trick, what's up, man?
What's up?
Not much, man. I got a Yonko question for you all tonight. Some nice theorizing as well for Parv.
Okay.
Hey.
So Oda said a while ago that his favorite IRL pirate is Blackbeard, and I believe that all the Yonko, in some way, shape, or form, are based on Blackbeard. Blackbeard had 14 wives. Sounds a little bit like Big Mom. When he died, he got like shot 5 times, and, like stabbed 20 times. Sounds like Whitebeard. Something that's also very, very interesting and very well known about Blackbeard, and don't laugh, Seb, is that he had syphilis, which is both a mental and a physical disorder. All of the Yonkos that we've seen up to this point have had a specific mental and a physical disorder. Specifically, Big Mom has an eating disorder with hunger pains, and she also has either Peter Pan syndrome or a bipolar. Kaido, depression, alcoholism, very obvious. Blackbeard has insomnia. And the most popular theory for him is split personality, which is actually a symptom of neurosyphilis, which is the mental disorder that can come from syphilis.
I've never heard of neurosyphilis.
Oh, that's a common thing. They
Common,
actually,
damn.
yeah, like a lot of people were saying, like, you know, we hold like a lot of the presidents are super old, but back in the day, syphilis was crazy, and they never tested things, so syphilis ends up eating your brain.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
and one of Blackbeard's most famous piracies is actually just stealing medical equipment, and that's how people figured out he had syphilis. Shanks obviously is an amputee. That's one arm. And that's actually where my theorization question comes from. All these other Yonkos have had 2 things wrong with them. One mental, one physical. We have a mental issue for Shanks. We have a physical issue for Shanks. What's his mental issue?
So I just want to go back to the whole, because what he's saying about the syphilis thing, that actually would make sense for Blackbeard to go to Drum Island, right? Because the Dr.
were there,
had
yeah.
there. That might be the reason he was there. So that's an interesting thing to point out with the, you know, that importance for that.
Sounds like you're giving Parvision a theory to create. But,
Well, I do have a Blackbeard
You can
video
take both
coming
of mine.
out,
He's
so
good, man.
Wait, hold on. Finish what you were saying, Trick.
Oh, I just said Parv can do both those theories if he wants to. He's a.
oh, this is the drum.
But
the
yeah,
drum
I'm simply
liberation.
asking, do you guys think that Shanks could have a mental disorder that, whether, and if so, what could that be? And what that would mean for the story?
Financial literacy? I don't, because the dude is a bum. Like, he just lives on any island at this point, right?
See, if Kaido didn't cover alcoholism, then I would have went with that one. But Kaido kind of already covers that.
But all the pirates kind of drink. Like every single one.
I don't know. I'm stumped.
He parties a lot.
I mean, the only thing I could probably say is he's obsessed. He probably has an obsession with the understanding of the world. Because in my perspective, Roger did tell him what One Piece meant. And following what Rayleigh said, saying that if I was to tell you, you might have a different understanding from what we understood.
Yeah.
That probably created this psychological, breakdown, and he didn't take it well, which is explaining why he does certain things that no other pirate is able to do with the world government. And he probably just wants to create One Piece. And the only other character that seems very similar to the way he would possibly think is somebody like Batman. We think Batman is very psychotic for the things that he does. He doesn't kill, his enemies. He lets people do what they have to do. He just keeps an order of peace, And I think that's kind of what Shanks is probably doing in my guess.
I have a good, and this is the little tease into the Shanks video, is it might be that Shanks is running away from problems, right? He's afraid of stress. He doesn't he's faced with this giant, not prophecy, but just responsibility that Gold Roger, we don't know what was said to him, right? And it's when you think about him handing the hat to Luffy, right? And then we think about all the things that he has done. It's he doesn't want to take responsibility. He's literally the first important scene is yo, Whitebeard, you need to stop Ace, right? Hey, Gorosei, we don't know what's said, but something needs to happen and I'm not doing it, right? He steps in one time and he doesn't do anything, right? He doesn't want to be this world figure, it feels even though he has all the resources, all the backing.
So you think it's anxiety?
Whether it's anxiety or not, I think it's more he just doesn't believe in himself.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. I would say that, but the thing is, it's also Shanks. Imposter syndrome implies that Shanks doesn't recognize his power. I think he recognizes his power and he's willing to use it. He just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be that person. He wants someone else to do it. And a lot of people are saying he set up Luffy to do this thing, and it's a kind of a messed up situation. And in terms of the mental thing, when you think about all the time Shanks has showed up in the story, like you said, he's just a bum. He's not taking up territories. He's just showing up whenever it's he's it's a procrastination thing, right? It's you're waiting to the last moment for something to prevent or do or whatever. Whereas all the other Yonko are if I want to change the world, I'm going to create an empire. I'm going to create a territory. I'm going to be the change that I want to create, right? Whereas Shanks is all right, I can't do this,
Yeah, I'm looking at Shanks way different.
I can't do this, but I can see the world turning over its head if Ace goes after Blackbeard, so I need to stop that. I can see the Gorosei are ignoring a big problem. I need them to stop this, right? I need to at least to do that, right? When you think about the mental side of running away from your problems and procrastination, those things kind of do line up. Where it's I think one of the biggest drops is going to be what Roger said to Shanks.
1,000%.
Yeah, because because that will frame everything that Shanks is doing, and I have a good idea what it is.
I feel it's kind of wild that he could be a Yonko and one of the most famous pirates and strongest pirates in the world, and y'all telling me he didn't live up to his potential. That's what y'all telling me. Damn, yo, he was destined for more than this.
No, I mean when we think about it, right? He's red-haired Shanks, right? He's not known by his name, red hair. He literally put up Rockstar. Be is this gonna fool anybody, right? This is red-haired. But then when you think about it, he has all this power. What has he done with it? Right? All the other Yonko have done something. Even Blackbeard, at this point, he's taken over all of Whitebeard's stuff. He's causing mayhem. Shanks doesn't, not that he doesn't have feats, but it's we haven't gone through the New World and seen any kind of, we've seen what Big Mom has done. We've seen what Kaido is doing. We've seen what Blackbeard is doing. Even Dragon, to a certain extent, he's infiltrating places, right? In that regard, The only thing that we know is that Shanks has one territory that Bartholomew took over and just put Luffy's flag there, right? That's the only thing we know, right? So it's kind of like, it's like, you know, if you have all that power, it's like at least Mihawk is just going around saying he's having fun, right? He does not bring along a whole crew. We don't know what Shanks is doing, but when you think about Shanks and Mihawk, it's like they have all this power, they're not doing anything, but Shanks is the Yonko. He should be the one doing stuff, right?
Film Red coming out. What y'all think?
Shanks got rid of that hat in Roger's will the second he could. He got rid of the arm,
You know what? I was thinking that the whole time. So he got rid of Roger's hat the second he could.
Yeah.
He lost his arm, so he didn't have to deal with Mihawk anymore.
Hey, I ain't gonna take none of that disrespect, Trick.
I'm
You
with all,
coming here disrespecting him.
I'm with all
Can't do
the
it.
Shanks disrespect. I know they don't like it though. I know they don't.
Yeah, you want to say?
It's all right. He's got the rat no. It's all right.
Yo, in our Discord, Trick said that snitching is his mental disorder.
Damn. That'd be wild.
Oh man.
Hey, I got issues. Y'all want to speak, Lawrence Aleno?
I got something to say. I'm lazy.
Let's go.
A lot of disrespect.
I have never thought of Shanks in any light of what you guys are talking about, and I don't see it or agree with it. But I will say I don't know, because he's seeming like the normal one out of them. Like they're all kind of like.
Those are the ones you got to worry about, though.
Yeah, that is true. Because I will bring up a side of Shanks that that I have noticed.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think most of them, Big Mom, Kaido, Blackbeard, they're kind of like freaks. Like they're kind of weird with their personality and they're kind of like out there flamboyant. But Shanks, what I notice is low key, really, really ruthless. And what I mean by that, right? Because I noticed this. The first, I guess you could say, the first killing we seen in the show
Was by Lucky Row.
Was by Lucky Row, and Shanks said like pretty much right. Because also what he said before. He said, you could spit on me, you could laugh at me, but you touch any one of my knockabout. And he also says, I don't care the reason for it to do it. So they can have valid reasons. Yo, this dude killed my wife. Shanks, I don't care. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to come after you, right? So we see the first death that he had. And then one more into that, right, is that when he said, once you attack Shanks or you recognize you're in a fight with him, Shanks kind of shows you, in a way, like, no mercy. Like he says, we're not playing here. Fighting is not a game. You know, like this is serious. Our lives on the line here, and why Lucky Roo killed that person. But then also too, with that attitude, when Mihawk first showed up, right before he realized that he coming as a friend, Shanks has his air about him, just like, "What do you want, Mihawk? I am not in the mood." Like ready to kill him. The Mihawk says, "Calm down. I'm not trying to fight." Blah blah blah. Then party. Ace rolls up. Right, and he's just like,
He wasn't trying to fight.
like pretty much, right? Ace rolls up. He goes, "What does a rookie like you want with me?" Right, serious. And this is a rookie. Like, you could take Ace out like, you're Yonko. He's like, "What do you want with me?" And then he's like, "Hold on. I'm just trying to show you because Luffy talked about you." Oh, now you're friends, you know? And then Kid rolls up to him. Kid lost an arm, right? And then, like, pretty much, and how, one thing is when it comes to fighting, Shanks just showed, like, this ruthlessness, like, kind of like, he takes fighting very, very seriously. Like, it's not a game that he's coming for your throat. He's coming for your neck. That's what the side I saw of Shanks. More like than everything else. Because also, too, I don't know how, and again, because I also think of Kaido, right? Kaido intercepted Whitebeard, and Shanks stepped in. Honestly, do you guys really believe that through words, you can stop Kaido from stopping Whitebeard? Like, Shanks could tell Kaido, "Yo, just be easy, have a drink, and we'll all just, you know."
Be easy, bro.
Yeah,
Depends on the words, man.
No, I don't think so.
He does that good shit.
I don't see that because the reason why is like, for example, when I see Kaido's personality is more like what we seen with Jack, right? On Zoe, it was like, that ninja's not here. I don't care. Like, Jack stood there 5 days fighting. There's no convincing Jack otherwise. And where'd he get that from? From Kaido, his captain, right? So I don't believe through words, but somehow Shanks was able to, I don't say stop, but like get Kaido to agree to at least him, and it had to be through strength, right? And then he shows up to the war, shutting stuff down. So I was like, to me, I see a more of a ruthless side of Shanks that people respect. And I'm trying to think of leading that to like his. I don't know if he has a mental thing, because
Like
I do
anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety. Because I do realize it's interesting that Larry brung out that he did cry when Gold Roger was leaving, right? But
When he came back.
Yeah, when he came back, and he already knew that Gold Roger was dying. So why were you
did.
crying here? So like I don't know if it has something about losing people or whatever, but like
You can even take out that the disbanding of the Roger
Yeah.
Pirates happened
'cause
afterward,
the-
but Shanks was also on the ship
Yeah.
when they were all setting sail for each other.
yeah.
No, I think the disparity actually happened.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I just want to add I think the video that I'm gonna make is gonna be crazy because like it addresses like what I said and then what you said, they line up.
Okay.
And so like I think the part that I could leak out is like when you think about like what Big Mom is, what is she the emperor of, right? She's the emperor of like this food industry and like she has like an intelligence network. She has that going on. And Mosh made that video. We're working on that series together. And Kaido is doing like military, and he's also has the pharmaceutical stuff, right? And those are world powers, right? So then you like leave up the gaps. And so just to like put it out there, Blackbeard we're kind of thinking he's more like anarchy. Like in terms of a world power, it's like terrorism almost. Like it doesn't matter where it is. If it benefits him, he'll figure out the easiest way to get there. And he'll do it. And it's so in Marineford, it's like, I'm going to wait till Whitebeard's like almost gone and I'm going to swoop in and do that, right? And so it's like the same thing with Baltigo with Dragon. It's like, I'm just going to surprise them, right? And we don't know why Dragon had to retreat. My opinion on that is that Dragon has a bunch of refugees that he has to protect. So he couldn't defend all of those people because we know that he has refugees. He has like, his whole army is a bunch of kids.
My take was a little simpler. It was more like, yo, this is my secret base. If I have a fight with a Yonko on this base, people are gonna know about it.
Yeah,
so like
there's
now
that too.
I can't like the news found out
Right.
that I'm here. Like this is not a
So, but then
You know what I
the
mean?
question there would be, why didn't, if Dragon's supposed to be this really strong power, why wouldn't he counter Blackbeard at all, right? Like he kind of let that steamroll, and that's why a lot of
Because
people.
he's soft, Parvision. Say it.
So a lot of people
Say it.
use that to take away from Dragon, but I say it's because he had refugees.
He just got a cool
I
name.
also thought like, well, what is Dragon's objective and target? Like he can't waste his military power on a Yonko when he's trying to use that same power to attack the world
I'm
government.
Listen, bro.
actively calling my forces to
Yeah,
fight
the world
a
government.
military power. I can't fight a second military power right now.
Just take away my power, my forces, like
Well, he doesn't have a lot of people joining his side.
Hold on.
You know, he's a liberator.
Y'all sounding real crazy right now. Like Blackbeard didn't just become a Yonko. You know what I'm
He
saying?
still likes us two down for. He still has a Yonko crew.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. If I gotta advance Conqueror's Haki and Future Sight, and I'm supposedly the most wanted person in the world, you better come correct. Cause you come to me like that, you gonna get put down, boy. And if Dragon don't got that mentality, he ain't the strongest.
Yeah, and so when we think Blackbeard is this role, right, where he's not a part of any faction, he just wants to terrorize everywhere, right? So then there's one other Yonko left, right? And you think about the thing that's left with how the CP0, and I talked about this in the BDA video, that CP0 and the world government, they're not on one side of the scale in terms of world power. We're seeing the CP0 do all the weapon stuff, right? They're trying to push weapons out to all these countries to counter Dragon. They're on the dark side of things too. And you think about the one person who, besides Doflamingo, who has ties to the Gorosei
And the underworld.
and he's on the the other side. And so when you think about what Shanks is the emperor of, he's the emperor.
Orphans.
Maybe.
Yo, all right. Do I just drop the whole theory? But like, okay. So
Yo, am I right?
it's not that you're right or wrong, but it's involved there. There's a big thing.
It's Shanks'
No,
assassin.
same theory video.
No, there's way more to
All
it.
right,
Way
all right,
more
We
to
gotta
it.
take more calls.
We gotta take more calls. Trick, did you want to say anything else?
No. I mean, I was so happy. Part basically took the entire idea that I was going to put forward for Shanks himself. So
You're gonna
I'm
love
good.
the Shanks video,
You guys
bro.
rock. I'll see you on the Discord.
All right, thank you, brother.
Trick's
But
that
the
guy.
orphans.
The worst thing about these is that these kids are orphans. And orphans don't have parents. Alright. Marv, do you have any more calls?
Shanks
That
and
was a long
Batman.
one. Oh, okay.
Black
Guys, call up. I know that was a
Black
long one,
Dynamite.
but
No,
That was
I see
good.
that. Yeah.
That was good. I like that, man. That was a good question. I never thought about the physical and mental.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? This is that One Piece talk. Who are you and how are you?
Yo, it's Jevion or Jevverse.
Hey, the guy, the legend.
Alright, so today the official cover for Volume 102 came out. And in it, we see Zoro's swords have like this green smoke coming off of it. And I noticed the smoke is kind of similar to like Brook's color when he like exits his body. And we know that he started calling himself the King of Hell, and Enma is supposed to be the King of Hell also. And now we got the Grim Reaper popping up. So do you think there's any connection between any of that?
Oh, we gotta throw that to Parvision's way, right?
Yo, all right. Let me just say, before we get to the Zoro part, right? Sanji having, I saw this.
Go.
Before we saw
No goat.
Go.
No goat.
Go.
the Sanji blue fire, I called that. I called that my Sanji thing. I said that there was gonna be other color flames.
Lawrence had called that. I want to say like our whole cake. He had called that.
Yeah.
Was it you or was Lionel?
No, it's me because flames represent different temperatures of fire.
Yeah.
Blue is the hottest fire, or going into white. But like blue is the hottest fire because it's pure fire.
Right.
So the different color of fire is actually the temperature going into it.
Right. And so, like, I was thinking there's going to be other color of fire. And in my Sanji video, I was saying, like, there's an emotional aspect to the colors, too. And maybe we see that changing. If it changes to blue, maybe we see other colors coming out of it. But so separate to that, this whole Zoro part, like, if you haven't seen my Zoro theory, I literally said that the basic power that he's gonna end up getting is some kind of soul cutting power, and he's been showing that with Monet, right? He had no Haki, and he literally just destroyed her.
That was Conqueror's Haki for sure, bro.
That was something.
All the way back in Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
So
Hold on, Zoro showed Haki during Alabasta, and
Right,
that was
right.
super early.
So and what
more than
my,
Luffy did.
My point about the Conqueror's Haki is it affects another person's soul, right?
Yeah.
So why isn't it a possibility that he's able to use that?
because I feel like now you're just tapping into Brook powers, and I get
No,
that.
no,
That's
but
cool.
I mean, but
but
like,
the
wasn't
thing is-
Ashura already that?
So the thing is with Conqueror stuff, they showed Brook's power to be very similar to Conqueror's when he put out Big Mom's the homies, right? Because they're essentially just souls in a vessel. They're weaker than anything, right? And the way he dismantled them was it looked like Conqueror's Haki, and there's a lot of, and my Brook video is coming out soon.
Damn. So Brook got Conquerors, Sanji got Conquerors, Jinbei got Conquerors.
Yo, it's
Nami was stunting last chapter.
Nami has Conquerors, apparently. Anime's terrible.
wait.
keep going.
Did I say the Nami has Conquerors? Did I touch
No,
that?
I'm just saying.
Oh no, but like I said it. I have a.
Stop. All right, so
Par, you be tinfoiling sometimes, bro. You are.
No, but all right. So here's a little tidbit. Here's a little tidbit, right? Nami is able to counter Big Mom's strongest homie.
Oh my god.
And so in the presence of Big Mom, she's able to sway that homie over. Brook couldn't even do that.
Yo, Yabi-
with his
That's real.
power.
Y'all be stressing me out, Marv. Just cut this channel.
Wait, but that
cut it off.
wasn't due to her will. That goes into what Sebastian kept saying
Y'all
before.
talking nonsense.
Is that the way Big Mom treats her?
Yeah, so
her subordinates or her friends is like it's such of a lack of a love appreciation that kind of like I could just throw you a belt that if you have someone else that fills in a void that a parent in a way should be given to their
Right.
their thing. Nami was able to sweet talk her way into Zeus's heart or whatever.
Sweet talk. I mean, but like she fed her. But the
There's a
main
lot
thing
of
about
girls
Big
like that.
Mom's power.
A lot of girls like that.
The big thing about Big Mom's power is it runs on fear, right? She, like the Conquerors, and I have the Conquerors Haki video too. And so the big thing that I asked is like, what if you gave Big Mom's fruit to someone who didn't have Conquerors? Would they be able to use it? And when you think about Big Mom's fruit, right? Like the strongest homies, those are supposed to be the strongest will. They're supposed to be a part of her soul, right? Like those are those homies, right? So if you're able to sway those, because she can straight up just, I think Luffy was able to do this in Seducing Forest. He used Conquerors and then the things wilted away, the weaker ones, right? And so Big Mom's able to do that like automatically. But when you think about the strongest homies, Brook's power was able to dissipate all of these other ones, except those big ones. Whereas Nami, in the presence of Big Mom, is able to turn Zeus over to the point where Zeus is tied to her power, right? And he's able to betray her and attack her. That's wild. And so the part about Conqueror's Haki that I'm talking about in my video is that when you really break it down, Conqueror's Haki is the ability to command. It's about you having an intent and you able to command other people to do that.
I feel you. I get you. But this is like One Piece madness. Y'all saying Nami conquers Haki, Brook miniature, like, no, I'm not saying full-blown conquers, but I'm saying miniature conquers? Nah. Because now Usopp got it too. We know Usopp had that, and that's not true either.
I mean, if the
I
Rock
love
Pirates
with all
can do
the
it, so
slander
can
he
the
has for Usopp, he has to admit that Usopp has it.
Usopp gonna have it.
I gotta accept that Marco got it too to some
No,
degree.
Marco-
No, Marco.
I think we can all agree on that one.
Marco ain't even do
Hold
nothing.
on,
with
Kid
it.
has it. Never been shown.
Kid
All right,
real,
but
though.
Kid's weird. Kid's
Kid
weird. Kid
real,
didn't
man.
use any
Kid
hockey.
ain't weird, he just sucks.
Kid
Kid
doesn't
real,
have
man.
any hockey,
Kid
apparently.
survived the mass genocide of them children. Kid, man.
Just to answer Jay versus question, I think because back when Rayleigh was explaining about hockey, he said hockey allows you to touch or affect the intangible, right? If that includes anyway souls in One Piece, that should work. You get what I'm saying? Because light's intangible. You're able to affect light. Smoke's intangible. You're able to affect, like, all logs are kind of like intangible. You're able to affect them. So you using your hockey to, anyway, soul cut, that's kind
You
of
think you
what
can affect people intimately?
No, I don't know, because when Luffy when Luffy was
Define
getting chased by
intimately.
Big Mom.
Because I have it in my video. I have it.
No, when Luffy was getting
It's like
chased by
perfect
Big Mom
segue.
and the whole cake, when Luffy started punching the flames, Big Mom's flames, Luffy couldn't hurt it at all, and he was doing Haki Arnie. He couldn't touch it, like, no. Luffy said, "It's not. I guess it's not a log here or whatever." Because Luffy physically.
And
did
what
Haki
didn't
Arnie.
he have then? He didn't have Conqueror's coding yet.
True. I mean, maybe he could probably do it, but.
And like when you think about like Zoro, like Flame Rend, right? Flame Rend should work on flames, but then he was able to cut the I forget the flame. Prometheus, right? And he was stalling that. And so then because I put out my Zoro video and then he cut it and I was just like,
Could have waited.
I was just like, hold on, this is connecting, it's crazy. But
The only other person to cut a homie was Brook too.
yeah, and he has, what does he have?
It's light work for Brook, though. He do that.
But that's his ability. Brook's ability allows him to affect
Brook
like
fake.
his souls in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess.
There's a connection there with souls and conquers because when you think about conquers, it's the power to overwhelm other souls, right?
I agree
Yeah.
with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
As far as the green flame, I just thought it looked cool. Like, that's an underrated aspect of it. I just thought like Oda was going for a dope look on this cover page, and
Oh, so you can say that's a dope look, but not Sanji's leg?
blue flame is an actual thing. In the,
But
in
he
the
said
world.
it got hotter.
Yeah,
And then changed colors. So that's
thank
science.
you,
Is
man.
it hotter than see how y'all be selective, yo?
It's not selective.
You,
What?
you
It ain't
saying that
selective.
this is just
A
cool
few chapters
looking
ago,
for
the
Zoro?
title of the
No,
chapter was
no.
Warrior Science.
I'm
This is
saying
science.
everything that Par and y'all are saying could be right. I just wanted to point out that it looked cool because we didn't say that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Sanji barely be queen. We out.
Okay. I would say most people would say
I'm not
we
gonna
made
start
different,
fights
but
here.
whatever. But whatever.
Anyway, J-Verse, you're the man. Thank you for calling up, brother.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
It's my guy, man.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best people in our Discord for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's always on.
Yeah, always on, always coming with the facts.
Dude, he finished Crows already. That's crazy.
Yo, so Sebastian's really good at looking up chapters and guessing like which thing happened during which chapter.
Smoking me.
J-Verse be like that, yo.
Dang,
Oh, let me
I
ask
need
you,
that.
Do you
It's
do
scary.
you like have an editor for your videos, or you collect all them yourself,
It's me.
bro?
Takes mad work.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, you guys could call again.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't gotten. Yeah.
probably take one more.
Yeah, we could probably take one more.
Dude, I had to do that theory video, and I was looking up the. If you doing all them pastes to yourself, yo, because that took me a whole like 5 hours of just staying up late, just kind of getting it right.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine it takes a while.
dude,
It takes getting the pictures part. It's the most timely part of doing the thing. Writing the script. If I could just have someone do that, like, be cake.
Hey, what's going on? This is that One Piece talk. Who are you and how are you?
What's going on, fellas? This is Aaron Tate.
Aaron Tate,
Aaron
man.
Tate in a building.
The weekly call.
What's up, bro?
Oh, man. So a couple months ago, I started rewatching the anime because I got one of my friends on it. And
Damn,
so
man,
just
I feel
recently-
bad for you.
I did the same thing and got my wife on it, so she's starting.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a Mrs. Vision.
There.
But I just recently made it to, or I'm almost at the end of Whole Cake.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just finished the Luffy and Katakuri fight, and watching that fight again gave me a newfound respect for, like, I already had major respect for Katakuri, but like I think after rewatching that fight, and this is my third time watching it, I think at this point Katakuri is my favorite Luffy opponent. So I wanted to get you guys' opinion on who you think, or who is your favorite.
I'm
Luffy
tired of all the disrespect. You feel me, Aaron? For Katakuri. Like, people don't realize he versing the main protagonist of the show, which clearly Kaido can't even kill. So
Kaido just killed him. Whatever.
at this point in time, it's like, you gotta understand that what Katakuri was doing at that point in time was abnormal, and he was still performing at the highest level. Like, not many people can do that. Even if we say, like, he didn't necessarily could take punches because, you know, whatever. He was still overwhelming the dude like 90% of the fight until the last 10.
Bro, you
Yeah,
gonna
he
answer
also
his
brought
question or
himself
what?
down.
I forgot what his question was, man.
What's your favorite?
Y'all be making me
It
mad,
said,
man.
"What is your favorite Luffy villain or opponent specifically?"
Oh,
Yeah.
it would have to be Lucci or Katakuri.
It really goes Sebastian.
I didn't know he. I thought he'd say it now. He ain't saying
No,
no.
no, got clearly couldn't do anything
He's
against
not
him.
really a villain to Luffy, right? Like,
Can't even hurt Luffy.
Man, that's actually a hard question because if it's villain to Luffy specifically,
You're gonna pick Dolphy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. You
It's
gonna pick.
between Crocodile.
It's not Crocodile.
It's actually
No.
Crocodile.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
It is
about
Crocodile.
Crocodile literally said, "Yo, you're gonna drown."
it's-
Walked away.
nah,
didn't
it's-
make sure that they drowned,
Listen,
and then they came back
It's
and
my,
beat him.
it's my choice. You
just like him 'cause he has a cigar and a suit.
I liked the bounce off between
Okay.
Luffy and Crocodile. Let me
If he-
get my.
hold on,
let me-
hold on,
let me-
hold on, hold on.
It's my turn.
Hold on.
You had your rant about Katakuri.
This is
Let
why
me
I'm such a
rant
science
about
table.
Crocodile.
Hold on.
Let me rant.
Hold on, the show about to end. I just wanted to say, if you take away his fashion sense,
Oh my
is he
God.
still a great villain?
Yes.
Are you
It wasn't
taking-
the-
He's lying.
Crocodile's fit on Alabasta was stupid. You know what I'm saying? The hook was fire, but like the green cape and
We got 4 minutes, man. Go.
Listen.
Are you on board with Croco Mom?
no, not at all. It's the worst. That is the worst theory in One Piece history.
We got 4
Terrible.
minutes. Come
Anyway,
on.
Crocodile because of the way it bounced, like how he bounced off of Luffy. That was the first time Luffy had ever lost for real. So it was a shock. He beat him a second time, and he low-key beat him a third time because if Luffy didn't get that antidote, he would have died, and Crocodile would have woke up one day. So like, or whatever. So I did like the interactions that they had as a whole, where he was fighting him, and it got way personal for Luffy because he was telling him like, "You don't need friends, don't trust anybody." They were diametrically opposed. Dolphy would be second, but go ahead.
Park.
If we're talking about villains, just villains, right? I like Crocodile and Doflamingo, but that's because of their roles as villains, right? Like they were kind of like these mastermind, like taking over countries in different ways, and you know, Crocodile had it a little bit harder because he wasn't a celestial dragon, didn't have the world government on his back, right? Like I mean, he was a warlord, but in terms of like Luffy villain, like to Luffy, I like Katakuri, right?
Yeah.
Kind of not even a villain.
The thing, yeah, he's not a villain, but like when you think about his role and like in terms of the character, right? Like I want Katakuri to come back, and the other part of it is like in the fight, like nobody can convince me otherwise. Katakuri brought himself down to Luffy's level.
1000%.
Yeah, like the way if he used the stickiness part of his thing, Luffy was gone.
All right, we'll talk after the.
All right.
We'll talk after the stream.
All right, we're gonna fight outside.
So Katakuri, right?
Yeah, I'm a Katakuri.
All right, Lionel.
Just pretty. I would say. I don't know. I think probably Rob Lucy was one of them. I would say
For
Rob Lucy.
sure. For
Rob Lucy.
sure.
'Cause I
Easy. Easy pick.
Because I think that's mostly ones that affected. Again, we all agree affected Straw Hats personally. Like it's like out of all Luffy's voyage, this one was more personal.
It was the
to
greatest
Straw
arc,
Hats.
too.
Yeah. So,
But do you think Lucci's still relevant to Luffy?
Hell no.
Not even
a chance. Not even a chance.
That's so upsetting, though, right?
He would
So,
team up with him in a
Rob
heartbeat.
Lucci,
now.
right, Lionel? Yeah. Law?
In all honesty, I don't really care for any of Luffy's villains. In all honesty, like
What are you talking about? Why are you on a show?
That's crazy.
What are you talking about?
What do you feel
What a
about
take.
it?
That's the hottest take.
Not
I
even
love that.
Kaido? Not even Kaido right
to
now?
me,
Yo, Kaido's nuts.
Honorable mentions I'll give because anyway, the ones because they wanted to fight.
I swear,
Luffy.
if you say Don Krieg, bro.
You right, yo, Muggy, yo.
Nah. Because like the ones like Rob Lucy, I will say one of my honorable mentions because he was down to fight on that situation. He's like, nah, we gonna fight one on
What
one.
you had in your
At
mind?
least he didn't say
bro?
Hardy, right? Like
You said you said hoodie.
Forty's growing.
No, I said Rob Lucy because he's down to. I said honorable mentions. I got to me. I'm still waiting on the one who I would pick as my favorite.
As
Lock
your
them
favorite
down.
Luffy villain.
Yeah, that's what's like. I don't have any yet, but honorable mentions
He waiting
because
for
they're down
Blackbeard.
to fight Luffy, Rob Lucy, Katakuri, and Kaido. Because to me it's like I'm all
you
about
can
that
never.
great
You
fight.
can just never pick something, can
Yo,
you?
ever.
I'm not
bro.
easy to please, alright? I'm not
Yeah,
easy to
like,
please.
come on, bro. No, I'm switching on my answer, bro. It's Dodon, bro. That's it.
It's really
Dodon.
Blackbeard on the low, but go ahead.
Because I want the great fight, and I want pretty much. So that's what I'm looking at fighter type, like down to fight Luffy and giving Luffy a challenge in a fight. But that's what I'm looking at. Villains like I don't really care. It's not what I'm meshing with that I'm connecting with or.
This dude said honorable mentions.
Yeah, like
Come
Hey,
on, bro.
honorable mentions for a title that doesn't exist for you, apparently.
Okay, one, before you mention honorable mentions, you have to mention the one before the honorables.
That's actually the opposite.
I have high expectations and they're not
honorable
living up
mentions
to
today.
them yet.
Oh my! All right.
Hey,
Anyway,
Wallace is not satisfied. That's
I'm
right.
not.
Anyway,
Not by the villains, no.
Anyway, we gotta
I
go.
need more.
So before we head out, Parvision, do you want to tell everybody where they could find you? Oh yeah. We're still on the phone with you, right?
Yeah.
Aaron, our fault.
Oh, Aaron, my bad. We're about to go, bro. Sorry.
It's all good, man. Great show, guys. See you next week.
All right, thank you for calling. All right, that was my bad. All right, so tell them where they can find you, Par.
I'm spreading out everywhere. My main stuff is on my YouTube. That's where you get that's where I put most of my effort, most of the quality is there, right? Come through on my YouTube. I read all the comments. Like I try to at least. I slacked a little bit, but I still read all of them. So for sure, interact. Come to the Discord because then if I'm in other places, you'll know on my Discord. I'm sharing like what I like to do with Twitter is like while I'm making these long videos, I have like teaser content, and so I'll end up teasing like either my video or like another theory on my Twitter. My Twitter is the Parvision, but my YouTube and my TikTok is Parvision. And in my YouTube videos, you can see all the links for all the other channels and everywhere else, and grab my merch and whatever you want. Support however you like.
All right, thank you for visiting our show too, Parvision. It's a pleasure, bro. Deeply honored.
I'm glad to be here.
Come back anytime, man.
I want to do this again.
Definitely have
like
to.
what you said before. I hope we meet the expectation above and beyond. This is
Above and beyond.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you to everybody that happened to join us. I'm going to actually put Parvision's links inside of the description of the video as well when I get a chance to. But other than that, I really just want to say I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the donations, the subscribers that happen to join, and also just for being here and joining Parvision and us and watching us discuss cartoons. So other than that,
Anime.
yeah, I just want to say thank you again, and we're going to head out. Jana.